Hello, everybody, and welcome to CCS for our stream match of the night. It's going to be GFG Sacred versus CB Starlight. I'm Love Me, joined by my very good friend to this side of me, Matt G.
Hello, everyone.
So, Matt, obviously, this is going to be a very non biased cast. Neither of us have any holdings to either of these teams.
No, not at all.
We don't have any friends on either of these teams. It's just going to be straight down the middle, right?
Yeah, 100%. No bias at all.
No bias at all. Well, just to do a quick rundown of both of these teams, GFG, obviously well known in CCS. You've got their Plat team, which won the Plat. They went to Plat Worlds through CCS last year, or last split, I should say. And then you've got CB Starlight on the other side. You've got names like Daydream, No Attack, Goat BM. These people well known within CCS. So, I mean, we should have a banger. It should be nice in the trash talk afterwards. But Matt, I want you to go a little bit deeper here. Okay, I want you to think real hard here.
Mhm.
Do they give Okami Yone in this game?
I feel like they do. I feel like they're not going to ban it. They will leave it up. That's my my prediction. Because Goat, on paper at least, he is their Masters exception. He does look like a very good player, so I'm sure he has something to play into it.
Yeah.
He is currently almost 150 LP Masters.
Yeah. I mean, a pretty ridiculous. There is a ridiculous elo gap between Okami and Goat BM. But now draft has started. How exciting it is for the first game to start up. I am ready as ever. It looks like Yumi is going to be hovered for a ban. No Attack has been playing this a ton on his Smurf, Jay Leyland. So it is nice to see them take that away. They're going to ban away the Jarvan. What do you think of the draft so far, Matt G?
Jarvan standard ban. I feel like for Drax, he's been pretty good at it. And then you see Yumi and Sivir going down as well for GFG. I feel like the Sivir is more of kind of like a prio ban. Maybe they don't want to play it, or they don't want to play against it, and maybe they have another first pick lined up.
Yeah, perhaps they do have another first pick thought about. I mean, Sivir has been kind of a little bit of a meta breaker. She's just been chilling out. Like, some teams really like her, some teams really don't. But it seems like GFG don't have the plans to play her. So I'm excited to see her away because I don't like that champion personally. It makes the game boring for a while. Seraphine being taken away as well. So that's another strong B1 taken away.
And the Talon going down as well. That's something that I feel like isn't really a first rotation ban. And then Senna as well into the Zeri first pick. It's definitely just prio kind of bans on the side of CB Starlight, kind of the meta picks. And then on GFG, it's more of the kind of, I guess, things they don't really want to play against, or they don't want to be one. I guess Talon's kind of a different one, but
yeah, Talon is a little bit. I mean, I guess Talon is just a target ban in general. I mean, I have not seen Talon jungle in a long time, and I also have definitely not seen Talon mid. As Ashe is now going to be the pickup, this can be flexed. No Attack does play 80 carry on the side, but Ashe support is not very popular in comp right now. It's a little bit of a hard champion to play at support, but I wouldn't be shocked if any team were to pull it out. It would be CB Starlight because they are draft truers, as Karma have locked in.
Yeah, Ashe Karma bot lane in response to this area is definitely something that's a dominating lane. Don't let it, or try and not make it easy for this area to scale. And the Urgot hover on B2. We've seen the B1 singed before. The blind Urgot on B2 is definitely a new one for me.
Yeah, we're definitely the Urgot B2. I can feel it. Cuddlebun told me actually before this series started. He said, "Listen, they're not going to give me. There's no chance they're going to give me Urgot. If they do, I'm going to wreck the game. Give me it 1v9." And I'm thinking that that's what he's looking for as Drex picks up the Vi.
Urgot Vi for the top side. It's definitely there's a strong combo there. The Vi R into the Urgot flip with the ult on top of that. It's definitely something that you can punish, or it's something that you can kill something easily with on a gank. And Urgot, if he gets ahead into the comp so far with the Morgana on 3 and then Teemo hover and random hovers, but it's definitely something that is scary to play against. And there's
The Matt Gangplank, one of Yeah, Matt's favorite champion. He loves this champion so much. His only other champion that he loves more than this is Poppy.
Mhm. Gangplank does look good here, actually. Mhm.
Yep. Gangplank, really good at keeping champions out. And as of right now, I mean, Goldfish Gaming they're not built around range. They're very in your face. They
Mhm.
want to fight you. What's Gangplank good at? He's good at sitting behind, placing barrels inside of bushes, and just surprising you with like a 3,000 damage crit. So
Yeah,
I
definitely.
do like the Gangplank pick.
Same. It's definitely good to erg out as well because when you are in the R, you can use the orange to get out of that, and it cancels it completely. So that's definitely a good pick. Erg out blind with GP being up. This guy is a GP player,
Mhm.
so I'm a little confused by that, but they got some strategies.
Yeah, definitely. Goldfish Gaming, picking more comfort, it seems. Zeri is a meta pick. Get don't don't get me wrong here, but Okami plays like kind of off meta stuff in the mid lane. No, I mean
Mhm.
could we see a Zeri mid?
It
Is
could
the
be an
real
AP Zeri
question.
mid. You're
Yeah,
not wrong. He's played it before. He's played it a ton. I think I've played against it before, and it was not fun. Uh, but yeah, we'll see. I feel like that probably will excuse me, go down to Ham being in the bot lane.
Mhm.
Definitely, I know he's a Zeri player, and that champion is just so strong right now.
Yeah, champion is definitely strong as we do see Lulu, Rakan, Silas, and Akali banned away. So they're trying to get rid of some of GOAT BM's champions
Hmm.
while also taking away those strong champions that can show a Zeri. There's not a lot of enchanters left on the map. I mean, you could maybe look for something like Sona. I mean, there's not very much that you can pick with Zeri at this point. So I'm excited to see what they actually pick up for Helper as Karthus is going to be hovered. Will they lock it in? Yes, they
Yes.
will.
Wow. Karthus GP with Ashe. They definitely have the global ultimates. We'll
Mhm.
see if Ashe is like Civil yesterday on the Omega Scream or team. With the Ashe ults, he was hitting them across the map, so we'll see about that. It's hard to live up to, I will say.
Yeah, Ash, GP, Karthus, all
Ooh.
really great champions with their globals. Is now Vladimir getting hovered, and Okami
Ooh.
says, "I'm gonna smurf this game." You know, he's seen plenty of boosters in his games at D3. He's seen plenty of boosters play in this. So, of course, pick up the Vladimir. You've got the Soraka hover. Me as a Soraka aficionado. Um, It's not a bad pick, but I would like to see something with a little more priority into the Karma Ash. But if
Mhm.
they lock this in, they're just kind of saying, "Hey, we're gonna sack bot side. We're gonna sack bot side, and we're gonna just make sure that we can get our top and mid ahead."
Mhm. And the Okami Vladimir being locked in, he is very good at that champ. He's played a lot of games on it. It's definitely one of his strongest picks. And they save mid for R5 here, and they're hovering kind of more control mages.
Mhm.
Cassiopeia does actually look really good into their team comp because they do want to dive into them. And the Nasus is locked in.
Ooh, Nass is being picked up, and I'll tell you, I mean, in this game, this is actually a pretty decent force of nature game for Nasus,
Hmm.
which a lot of people kind of don't like that item. But in this game, I think that it's actually going to be a pretty decent pickup. He's going to be able to go probably Ghost in the top lane, and he'll just be able to run down Zeri, Urgot. It doesn't matter really who's hitting him. He doesn't take very much damage because just the champion. So, uh, yeah, I actually don't mind this Nasus pick. I think that might mean that GP is going mid.
Yeah, I feel like it could be Nasus mid to Vlad because Vladimir
That's
doesn't
true.
have the damage early game to deal with
Mhm,
Nasus, especially with his passive and like D shield and stuff like that. So I feel like that could be the play. The
mhm,
scaling on the top side of CB Starlight is much, much scarier, I feel like, than the scaling on the top side for Goldfish.
mhm.
So we'll see how the early game plays out, but it's if you're saying Nasus Karthus GP free scale, this game's really on Drex to be active in the early game. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, you want Drex to be active early, but you also don't want blind aggression because if he's just making moves to make moves, he can easily lose his jungle. He can easily get counter invaded. He can get counter ganked. And then you've got a Karthus with like either extra 20 CS or an extra 2 kills on his name.
Mhm.
So You have to be careful. Drex will want to force things, but he won't want to force things without reason.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
As waiting to get into the incline draft, I think that so far I'm actually liking CB Starlight's draft a little more this time around.
Mhm.
Even though they gave up the Urgot, and Cuddlebun was like, "Yes, if I get this, I'm going to 1v9. Don't even worry about it." I still don't have very much faith in an Urgot pick to be able to carry out
Yeah.
this game, especially if he's diving into what looks like a comp that can just kite him out completely.
Yeah, I agree. It's this is definitely a harder Urgot game to play because you do have to kind of dive into all of them, and having the diving into Ash, Karma, GP, like even Karthus, it's like their whole team compensates. It's something you don't want to dive into.
Hmm.
So that's definitely going to be hard for him. But they do have the follow-up gauge with Vi and Vlad, so if they are wasting all their time on the front line, they have to do it quick, because if Zeri's in the back free hitting, then they're going to have a very rough fight.
Yeah. The only way that I can really see this working out pretty well is that Vladimir does kind of infinitely scale.
Mhm.
As we all know, we've all been one shot by a Vladimir once, twice, and in my case, thousands of times. So I know plenty about this champion. I know that he can come into a team fight and just kind of wreck face, and you're just like, oh well, I guess unplayable. He pressed W, guys. He went into pool. How do I win? But with something like the Karthus as well, he can stay in team fights even if he dies. So
Mhm.
it might work out just a little bit better in the favor of CB Starlight if the fights go a little too long. But if you are GFG, if you are able to get some picks early, or you're able to find a pick before a team fight, I mean, you've got tons of control with this comp.
Mhm. I agree. And it is actually Nasus mid. I know some people in the chat were wondering where it's going to be, and it is going to the mid lane. And I feel like that could be a good matchup into Vladimir. He just builds a little bit of MR. He's got the sustain, and it's going to be a struggle for them to actually punish that. Okami has to kind of allow the wave to push into him so that Drex can come mid. But again, they don't have a lot of early game pressure on the top side for CB Starlight, so they can definitely abuse that.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely abuse it. You've got a lot of priority. Vi can look to get early Rift Heralds, try to get some turret plates off of top lane. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that GFG can fight into this game, especially if they take an early game lead. It'll be quite hard for the enemy team to be able to surpass what's going on.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's not like it's completely doomed from what we are watching.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, we'll see how this game plays out. I have the scaling for CB Starlight
Mhm.
over Goldfish. It's it's gonna be I feel like this game you have to have a big lead for Goldfish by at least 15 minutes for this game to be in a winning spot for them.
Yeah, a significant lead, but not only do you need a significant lead, you also don't want to completely sack out your bot lane
Mhm.
to the
Exactly.
point where Ash gets on items fast, like
Mhm.
much faster than Zeri. Because what can happen is that Ash is basically like Ash just free hits this game. No, I mean she has to worry
Yeah.
about Vi. That's it. If you have a Nasus standing in front of you and you have a Karthus standing in front of you, it's going to be hard for Vi to get into the
Mhm.
back. We're counting down 35 seconds. Do we still have faith in our Goldfish gamers, or will CB Starlight take a W here?
I still have faith. Okami Vladimir is definitely a scary thing to see. So I still think Goldfish will win this game.
Yeah. Well, we will have to see as we are loading in. But first, looking at these drafts, Matt G, I can't help but notice that CB Starlight actually drafted pretty well. It seems like they are using pro comps to do their drafting. Pro comps is a first of its kind drafting tool aimed for competitive and solo queue play. ProComp allows the user live feedback and analysis on drafting, giving them recommendations on picks, notes on matchups, and analysis on the enemy team's win cons. AKA, hope to God that the enemy team does not have a Smurf Fiora on the enemy team. These features allow the user to gain an edge on their opponent and improve their drafting skills. Use the code CCS25 for 25% off of your first 6 months. Again, that is CCS25 for 25% off your first month. I'm Kyle, aka Love Me, joined by Matt G. We'll see you on the Rift. And thank you all for joining us on the Rift. I'm excited to see how this game goes. I definitely enjoy the way that both of these drafts went. It's not pure just it's not pure boring meta. It's a lot of stuff that people are finding more comfortable in. Helper on the Soraka, you've got Akami on the Vladimir, Nass is coming out, Karth is coming out. It's not the same old boring. Like it's not boring. You know, it's not meta. So I enjoy how this draft went.
I agree as well. I like how how CB Starlight drafted. Nasus mid, Karthus. You don't see those champions a lot in competitive, or at least Nasus mid. I don't think I've seen that before.
Yeah, I have not seen Nasus mid before. I did see Gwen mid in my own scrims a day ago, but that was, you know, just a FYI. Gwen does beat Yasuo in the mid lane. That's an FYI for everybody that doesn't know already. But I digress. As now we're going to be looking at what both junglers are going to be starting. It looks like junglers are going to be starting on the same side of the map. Karthus making his way towards the bot side, and Vi just chilling, waiting for that red buff.
And you do see Karthus takes exhaust, which is definitely going to help him. And I feel like that's pretty standard for Karthus exhaust. You don't see a lot of Karthus take flash, from what I've seen at least. Exhaust is definitely going to help him with if Drex ever wants to invade on Vi. And also seeing first strike on the GP. It makes me think that he wants to go the Essence Reaver into Prowess Claw build, something along those lines. So that's just definitely extra burst. So walking into them is going to be much harder.
Ouch, his Bean takes a big Mantra Q to the face. Yeah, first strike, always looking to get more gold as GP. I'm still a grasp enjoyer myself, but a lot of people are taking first strike these days, so I don't blame them for that either, because it is a broken rune.
I agree.
As we look kind of at what the lane states are, and this is kind of how it's going to be. You know, Urgot's got a lot of control in the early game. If he's able to find a Q, he's able to put out quite a decent amount of damage down onto GP just out of a Q auto trade. So, and GP is really reliant upon what his first strike can do.
It's that extra gold on top of the passive as well. He's definitely going to be a rich man in this lane.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if he can just get the Q procs onto Urgot here. And also seeing both mid laners did take Ghost. So there's only one TP on the side of both teams. Seeing how side laning will work out later in the game, I'm not 100% sure on who wins the Nasus Vladimir side lane.
Ooh,
I want to say Nasus side lane.
Karthus is ganking us now. There is a lot of pressure going down onto this poor Karthus just found. First blood goes down, and the dead man just dies again.
Walking up there without having GP Prio, I don't know. I don't think you ever actually get that kill if you get the gank off. Having I think it's the E, the dash on Urgot, it's not easy to gank him. And walking up, I guess they must have had some knowledge that Drex started on the same side. And that's just I feel like a big mistake from the Karthus. Can't even look for that in the first place.
Yeah, they knew that Drex started outside because of that ward that they had placed early. Is now Drex gonna get wall of pain. I love you so much. Running forward, Akami caught in between a rock and a hard place. But wait, there's gonna be an engage from Drex. Will Drex be able to make it over the wall? No, he will not. I love you so much. Finds the kill. Mr. Drex goes down, and I don't think there's gonna be any more action other than that.
Yeah, I did see that Drex did skip his Wolves camps. So when Karthus came down after his full clear, he is level 4 to level 3, so he had the advantage there. And yeah, I guess they just didn't have the rotation on the bot lane because Ash Karma is something that's hard to get prio into.
Yeah, Ash Karma is something that gets prio real easy. Is now Karthus going to gank onto mid lane Okami. Going to find himself in a wall of pain. Will he be able to get out with the Q? Yes, he will. Mr. Drex going forward. Going to flash onto the Karthus, and goodbye to I love you, shake my head for the second time this game. Yeah,
Drex is just playing very aggressive in this early game. He walked in that mid lane without taking a camp off reset and just flashed on the Karthus because I guess he just knew it was a kill. Karthus does not have exhaust up because he used it in that river fight, and he was just confident in his damage with the Hail Blades.
Yeah, Drex saying, I don't really care if you outfarm me this early game. I'm going to kill you twice. And he does get the Dark Seal stack off as well, as the GP barrel did land for, as you can see, damage. But wait, Cuttlebun flashes forward with the flash, with the E flash. Maybe going to be able to get a solo kill. If not, the Vi will get it. But no, Cuttlebun finds himself a solo kill.
Solo kill in the top lane, just aggressively flashing on that GP. GP did have flash up, but not really, oh, excuse me, not really worth it with, I guess he saw Vi on the wave coming from behind. I guess he just kind of accepted his death there. But that is a big kill for the Urgot there. Getting the early lead on the GP is something that he needs to do. Because it's going to be, if you're on even terms, it's definitely harder to abuse GP as much. So that's a really big kill for him.
Yeah, big kill, and also opting to go for a Cole as the second item that he picked up. So you've got Cole, Caulfields, and a Doran shield. Now, I think it's interesting that he opted to go for Cole, thinking that maybe this is going to be more of a farming lane from how GP has been playing this early. So I don't know if it's a good pickup or not. We'll have to see as he gets the value.
Definitely is interesting to me. I think I'd rather take, you know, some extra damage. He doesn't have boots. Didn't see if he had inspiration or not. Maybe he ran inspiration and has boots in his rune page. That could be a thing as well. But yeah, the call is definitely a weird one, but I guess it's just, you know, if you have the prio in the lane, you're able to zone off GP a bit, take the farm, takes the extra gold, and then just be even stronger, I guess, with the extra gold from the call. So we'll see.
Yeah, as GP finds the first strike proc there with the barrel. Hard to love. No attack. Sitting in the bot side river, just helping out the Nasus a little bit. Nasus running low on mana, is also down a level at this point.
It's also looking at I didn't mention this, but the fleet footwork on the Nasus for the extra sustain with shield bow in this lane, you know, Okami is trying to poke him down with Qs here. And okay. Just took a trade under turret there. It looked like he kind of wanted to all in, and it's still looking like he can. Nasus does have everything up, so...
Oh, wait, go BM, just BMing, I guess. He should have known that E charge was definitely going to turn into a dive, as now Okami has to continue running away. I don't believe that he has pull quite yet, as now Karth is still putting down the damage. The ultimate does come down. Hard to love. Gets hit with tons of damage. Going to heal up Okami. As now GP ultimate comes down. Okami getting slowed, but he has a Soraket there to heal him up. And that's just going to be none for none in that mid lane team fight.
You know, TB Starlight uses a lot of ultimates. They use the Ashe ultimate, or I guess it's just the Ashe and GP ultimate, but those are long cooldowns in the early game. And getting nothing off that just gives, you know, the bot lane of him being in helper to kind of like free scale a bit, and it also opens up to this dragon.
Yeah, dragon going to be easily taken by GFG. And GFG, I mean, you know, we were saying it before the game started that they have to be aggressive early, and that's exactly what they're doing. I mean, Okami is diving, a Nasus underneath the surge. Now Drex coming towards mid lane. The slow did land onto BM, but they're not going to go forward with it, saying he's got ultimate. He might be able to kill one of us. Just take the easy play.
And in this whole time, as they were taking Dragon, Karthus cross-mapped and took the blue buff and Grom from Drex. So Karthus being a level up, he's 13 CS up as well. It's not something you really want to see if you're Goldfish, having your jungler down like this, but he is being aggressive early, so it's kind of like, I'm helping you guys out, not getting much, you know, giving up some camps. So hopefully Okami and Cuttlebun here, they can get strong enough to, you know, deal with that farmed Karthus.
Yeah, and you know the thing is that I'm looking across the scoreboard here, and I'm noticing like we were playing a shoving bot into Zeri, and Zeri is actually up in CS, almost 20 CS at that, and also. I mean, Vladimir is also up 20 CS on this Nasus. He's having a hard time farming. The only significant lead is going to be in the jungle and then in the top lane just a little bit. But, I mean, other than that, you would expect that this bot lane would have an early lead.
I'm actually very surprised that Zeri is up 20 CS somehow in this lane. I don't know how it happened. I guess there hasn't really been a lot of jungle attention bot lane, but still in isolation, I think that Ashe Karma should just be poking them out of lane, as we saw in the early levels, but yeah, it's maybe on Vamp Scepter and Soraka healing, it really helps it out.
Yeah, Soraka healing definitely helping out in that lane. You know, this is now Okami is going to use his ultimate onto the wave, just looking to clear that out probably and get a back in. He hasn't backed yet. Probably sitting on a ton of gold, maybe over 2K.
He's got to be on a lot of gold.
Yeah, he hasn't backed for the entire game. GP barrels coming down, just trying to push the wave out. As we're looking at it, 2.3K gold. I mean, you've got goblins all around the map here. As Bean is also sitting on 1.4, Ashe is sitting on 1.6. So there's a lot of gold on the table at the moment.
No objectives up either, so it's something that they can, you know, just they're taking their resets. Interesting buy from Okami here. I don't know what I guess, what does that, the needlessly is guess is just for the damage. Yeah. I don't know what Fiendish Codex Blasting Wand builds into. Night Harvester? I could be wrong.
I don't believe so. I don't know what this is. I think he's got something cheesy planned.
Yeah, he's got something going.
He's definitely got something cheesy planned up because that doesn't build. Night Harvester doesn't build from those items. Hextech GLP does, or whatever the Hextech Protobelt does not build from that as well. So I mean, he's got something cheesy lined up for this Nasus in the mid lane. He's going to buy a whole assortment of items from that pack.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Nasus is on the Sheen. It looks like he's going Triforce with the Sheen and Hearthbound Axe. A little bit of action going in the mid, and oh my god, we are just ulting onto the Karma. Trading the flash, you know, not the worst thing, but he did use the Ghost as well.
Arthas is going to be caught out, and Vi is just going to hit him with an assault punch right to the face. Is now Drex going to try to make his way out of here. I don't think the Qs are going to land quite enough damage on the Drex, but that Karthus is chilling on a Liandry, so he's not out of this game by any means. Divine Sunderer for Vi. There's mythics coming out from both sides, but only one mythic on the side of CB Starlight.
And that whole play happened, and they CB Starlight rotated.
Oh, Go BM going low is now Okami underneath the turret. Will he be able to pick up the kill on the Nasus? No, he will not. Okami's still tanking the turret, but not going to go down. Yeah, he didn't realize he was taking that turret until we said something. Is now Drex going to be able to pick up the mid lane turret. Cuttlebun sitting comfortably up in top lane. He is down quite a bit of CS, but we did expect this.
The early, it is a good matchup for GP. So him getting the kill early is definitely helpful because it kind of, you will be down a bit of CS in this matchup, but getting that kill it'll help even it out.
Yeah, it'll help even out the game state, you know, as GP continues to outfarm you, you know, you've got that one kill that'll keep you kind of within gold range, and also your team is getting plenty of gold around the map. I think that CB Starlight understand where GFG are. I think they know that they all backed. This is just going to be a free dragon off the map.
No, that's one thing that I don't really like to see. It's, you have the lead like this, like you're up 3k, your champions are strong. Another needlessly large rod picked up for Okami. It does look like he's going Rabadon's first item, I guess. And giving up dragons like that, I feel like it's something that you don't need to do. I guess they got the first start with the Rift Child. They needed to back after that. They used their cooldowns, but it's definitely not a good feeling to kind of have.
Yeah, if you're the side of GFG right now, what you want to do is you want to try to move your solo lanes out and try to get somewhere where they can impact the map. Is now Okami coming up, and exactly that. Okami going to continue putting down the damage onto GP, but GP also has tons of damage with his current build. Okami going low.
He is not weak at all, and Drex is in an interesting position. It doesn't look like they really want to do anything. I don't know if they can with them being topside as well. Fighting a choke like that against Karthus GP is definitely scary. And the ult coming down onto the wave, it's just to deny the plates. I don't think he needed, I guess there's no plates up. He didn't really need to do that. I don't think they can't dive him with Karthus Nasus right behind him. So I feel like that was a little bit of a waste.
He was just scared. He was just scared up there in the top lane. You know, he's seen plenty of dives go not his way, so he'd rather just ult the wave, make sure that it can't happen. As now we do see resets coming out from the bot side of CB Starlight. The Ashe did pick up Kraken Slayer, which is fine this game. You're going against a lot of tanky, healthy people. Kraken Slayer works just fine. Immortal Shield Bow was probably the only other thing that you could go, as now Ashe ult does get used. Does it
And
land? Yes, it did. It
lands on
actually landed onto Helper. Helper is just helpless at the moment as Goat BM finds the kill.
That is a pretty big kill for the Nasus. Gets him that 300 gold that he definitely wants. It was a good Ashe ult from Daydream, but using the Nasus ult,
Ooh, they're looking onto Nasus now that they know that he doesn't have the ultimate. Vi does get the damage down, is going to be able to find the ultimate, is now Kami going to continue going forward. Cuddle Bun finding the flash with the E, and that's going to be a dead Karthus. Is now Drex, needs to find his way out, getting blocked by the minions, but not going to be able to pick up the kill. Is I love you so much.
You know, I really do like to see that they're playing super aggressive with the TPs behind, getting the kills. You know, they're going to chip a little bit of damage on this mid tier, not too much because of the Karma wave clear, but it is like the plays they need to make. Like I was saying before, they need a good gold lead by 15 minutes. It's only 4K, but you know, where this top side is at least, they're in a comfortable spot right now.
Yeah, you're in a comfortable spot. Your bot lane did not lose by any means. I mean, Zeri even has a shutdown at the moment. She's up 30 CS. So they didn't really lose any lanes. They had no losing lanes. I don't think that anybody on the enemy team got any plates whatsoever as Drex was getting scared there, was able to find the flat or the smite, though.
You know, another weird GP ult. They're not contesting it. I mean, why use it? That's just another cooldown that they're kind of wasting.
Yep, and Cuddlebun said, "Thank you very much for using your ulti. I'll just take the free turret damage." Is now ease away from the GP barrels, and you have to think, you have to wonder, where do CB Starlight start putting more of their pressure? Possibly onto the Zeri. Zeri's kind of just solo laning, but she has the cleanse, she has the flash, and she's a very mobile champion. So I don't know really where CB Starlight can attack, other than just trying to farm up for this mid game.
Yeah, that's kind of where their comp starts to come online a little bit. It's hard for them because Karthus he had that comfortable CS lead, but it's kind of evened out. He's on Mythic, did hit his level 11, so that's a level 2 Karthus ult. Does do a little bit more damage, but still, I don't think it's gonna be enough to actually do the Vi sitting on Merc Treads and Hex Drinker. It's Karthus, or not Karthus. Urgot has a lot of HP. They have a Soraka for the healing. It's hard to kill these champions right now.
Yep, as Okami going to go forward on the Goat BM. Cuddlebun also here in the mid lane. They're looking to get the pressure onto Dragon. Rift Herald used. That's probably going towards the bot side. Maybe looking to drop the bot outer while also looking for the Dragon. CB Starlight have absolutely no control here.
And it was a Rabadon's first item for Okami. That's... I guess if he's super ahead, he can get away with building it. They don't have a lot of MR yet on the other side.
Team fight is coming. I love you so much. Going to be caught out. The Vi ultimate coming down. Will Vladimir be able to find a big ultimate? Yes, he will. Continuing to go. Daydream falling low. Will Daydream go down? No. As actually the fight is going completely into Starlight's favor. Cuddlebun found. Daydream goes down, but wait, Cuddlebun is able to pick up 1 kill, 2 kills. Is now Drex left in a 1v1 versus this Nasus. And I don't think that you're going to be able to win this, Mr. Drex, and he doesn't either. Trying to get away as wait, the ultimate. No, nothing comes back up for him. Shutdown goes over to Go BM, and Starlight find their light.
We see the replay here. The fight started off well with a really good engage from Okami with the art, but that Karthus art with the mix with the GP, it just did so much damage. It almost one shot like 3 people, and Go BM kind of was untouched that fight. And especially on this Nasus, I don't know how many stacks he has right now, but he's definitely doing damage, as you can see. And that's a lot of gold going over towards the CB Starlight team and a Dragon.
Yeah, I think that Nasus actually picks up two different shutdowns there, so he's got quite a bit of gold. He still hasn't bought anything but this Triforce. Actually, just stayed on the map, I believe, after the lifesteal is now. Bot turret is on the menu. Bean has to be careful. This guy is absolutely terrifying.
He's very strong right now. A lot of gold to his name. He has to with that bot turret as well. It's just that fight didn't go as I expected it to go, to be honest, with how the game state is.
No, I did not expect it to go that way either. I don't know. I didn't see exactly what had happened, but I think that Nasus was just able to free hit the backline. Somehow, some way, they got CC down onto Bean, and Bean was not able to move. Helper wasn't able to move. I mean, you see, there's flashes up on almost everybody of GFG. 3 flashes down from Starlight, so there had to have been something. Is now Drex gonna look for the pick. They're just gonna be able to find this. I love it so much. Picked out. Okami's gonna be able to pick up the kill. Drex thankfully has that Hex Drinkers now. Stet almost lands the barrel combo, but not quite gonna find it on the Drex.
Yeah, that's a very good pick by Drex there. He's definitely playing aggressive as he should be. With how this card is, they don't have the mid turret, so they can walk in through there. The bot turret's on 1 HP, but when you can't really be safe from a dive from Vlad, Vex, and Urgot, and as it showed, they did use 2 ults on that, and that's the Zeriar to clear the wave, which I guess you don't want to really give more gold to this Nasus. He did pick up Frozen Heart with all that gold, which is interesting, I'd say. I feel like the magic damage this game from Zeri is 80, but she does magic damage as well, and from Vlad, it's you want to be able to side lane against that, and I feel like Vlad will be able to kill in the side lane if an extended fight does happen. Yep.
But as we can see, Vladimir's still not on a mythic, just chilling on that Rab. So any magic resist at all for Nasus is going to be good as now Drex. On the bottom side, are they going to be able to find the dive? The turret goes down before the GP. The ultimate does miss from Cuddle Bun, but it doesn't matter. The big knees come out. Go BM. Looking forward, Okami is just going to go down here. He's not able to match up with this Nasus. Nasus finds himself another shutdown, and Okami's not loving the side lane.
Yeah, I thought it would go a little better, but I guess the HP he has and the damage he does, Okami can't deal with it right now. And that's a Baron being started up.
Baron on the table for CB Starlight. They do know that this is happening. Are they going to be able to find the fight? As now we've got members moving in. Bean and Helper are going to be the first ones here. Drex following shortly behind as a big Zeri W does come down, and Drex finds the steal. Will he be able to find a kill onto the Karthus? Karthus goes gold, and Hard to Love is found with Cuddle Bun. Drex is going to go down on the backside. Go BM going to continue going forward. Cuddle Bun able to pick up a double kill on the bot lane. He's going to be able to find the flip, but not going to find the kill on the Stet. And that will end the fight as Drex actually steals that Baron away.
That was a very good steal. He went in there and confidence fight. We see the replay here. They were doing it pretty fast with the Karthus Leandri's damage. Balling kind of moved off a bit. That Baron knockup honestly was a big part of it. And the GP ulting there and TPing in, it makes it a 4v5. But Cuddlebun in the backline, he's just melting the bot lane of CB Starlight. Does go down, almost picks up 3, and the Karthus was on 1 HP as well. It was just a really close fight that was a 4v5, and I feel like that's a really good sign for Goldfish Gaming.
Yeah, Cuddlebun doing his job there very well, able to cause a lot of disruption. You kind of want to play Urgot. Ooh, Helper. Gonna find him, gonna face check his way into a barrel as now Vision is being set up. Bean gonna eat another GP barrel. That's 2 half-health members of GFG. They have to play this a little more cautious.
Yeah, Dragon spawning in 10 seconds. 2 poked out, and you have the poke coming in from the Ash and the Karma. They're giving up river position a little bit. I feel like they should at least try and stand their ground. But against Vi off to the side, it's a little difficult.
Ooh, Helper is the one that's hit, and he is not in the best position as now Helper has to flash away. Still has the ultimate. Not going to use it yet, but Okami goes into the backline. Big ulti, big A, big everything as Okami finds the Quadra. There will not be a Penta on the table, but Okami goes absolutely huge. He's going to look for the Penta. Actually, here comes Okami. He says, give me what is mine. Penta kill for the Vladimir.
That was a massive engage. How that fight played out, though, with a little bit of a bug there with the replay. It did break, but that's all good.
Replay broken, but that's okay.
With Nasus was zoning off the vibe from the dragon. I feel like in their blue side jungle. I feel like that's not how that fight should have gone. That's not where he should be. With Vlad getting the free engage onto the 4 squishy members of CB Starlight, that will exactly happen every time. And it was just a very, very well played fight from Okami. That was a massive flash engage. Honestly, most likely game winning in my opinion. He is so strong right now.
Yeah, that is what GFG are good at. They are good at team fighting. And this team, you can tell they've put a lot of time into it. Okami there, though, going absolutely massive, picks up a pentakill, and that is huge for him. I think that he completed basically a whole item off of that fight alone. Picks up the Cosmic Drive, picks up his Hex Proto Belt, as now we see how the fight went.
So yeah, Nasus is in that top side, and it gives Okami a free engage, and he played it extremely well. That was as almost perfect plays. He played it. Mastery 7 dropped,
Oh, it's now the fight is coming down. Okami not going to be able to live for long. GP ult was behind him. He picks up 1, though. Holy crap, Daydream was half health. And the ultimate actually kills her there. Bean looking to continue going forward. No attack. Stuck in a hard place to be. Not going to pick up the kill. Bean and Helper going to get half health by that GP Barrel. Barrel still coming down. Drex going to continue going forward. Able to find the ultimate. Will they be able to pick up the kill? The Barrel does come down, but it's blocked by Bean, and that's going to be a double kill for Drex.
Honestly,
Drex going forward? Oh, just going to die.
Yeah, unfortunate. But this whole time, it's the Nasus is pushing on the bot side, or top side, I mean. With the objective bounties up, it's a hard trade to make. They did get the kills, as we see the replay here. Bean went in, missed a couple of the Qs, and that GP Barrel just did so much damage. But Drex flashing in, securing these 2 kills. He's playing very well on the buy. And Karthasar comes out, but the healing is just so much from the Soraka and then the Summoner heal as well. It was a good pick. He did go a little bit too far. This isn't really necessary. They got what they, it was a good trade there, but giving up the extra kill, you kind of lose a little bit of tempo on the map, stuff like that. Giving gold away, you never want to do, especially to a Karthus, who most likely, I'm guessing, is either a Rabadon's. Yeah, a Rabadon's he's working toward. Rabadon's he has, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And he's strong right now. That's a scary Karthus to see. GP on IE as well. The top side of CB Starlight took a while, but they got there. They're much stronger than they were, and fights are going to be definitely harder to play for Goldfish.
Yeah, fights are going to be harder to play. I mean, if you full engage on the Karthus now, Goat BM, if they knew where Goat BM was, this could be detrimental. Drex looking to go in onto the enemy team is now he's going to be able to find the engage on the I love you so much. Oh, man. I love you so much does go down. Daydream, they're going to continue looking forward. Cuddle Bun is going to go forward into Daydream, able to pick up the kill with Okami, as now there's just going to be a full-out push. There is a freeze going on.
I don't think they need to actually stop this Nasus. I guess they don't have the wave. They can go into the Baron. He doesn't have a wave. He's just cutting it off. Recalling here from Cuddle Bun, he doesn't have to. They don't have a wave unless he's going to face tank it. I feel like you just burn this Baron. GP on the bot side, maybe that's what he's recalling for. But Dragon is up in 40 seconds.
Yeah, Cuddlebun just making his way down. And I do want to point out, Cuddlebun's actually a level up on this GP. Despite how little he's been side laning, he is still a level up on the GP.
Mm-hmm. Level up, yeah. He's, I guess, all the fights and stuff, and they do find.
Go BM gonna get ultied over the wall. Are they gonna find it? Maybe as Drax finds the Q. Going to continue going forward. Go BM has to run away. Maybe picks up one on return, but no, he will not. Bean finds the kill, and that should be a free dragon for GFG.
Yeah, Okami has flash up. They try and do this. They have to burn it quick. I don't think they should be doing it. Yeah, they're backing off. It's a hard game state right now for CB Starlight here. Almost 10k down, 8k down right now. They're in a bad spot right now. Okami is super strong on Vlad. The scaling from the Soraka Zeri is starting to, out outscale, I guess you could say, the the Ash Karma. It's
Yep.
more utility, and haven't really seen a lot out of it.
Yeah, it's like I said in the pregame to this, we did see. I mean, I did say that this bot lane matchup is actually the most important thing, in my opinion. Okami obviously doing really well in the mid lane, Cuddlebun doing his job up in top lane, finding a solo kill early. But what's ultimately bringing them down is that J Dream and No Attack were not able to pick up early kills, but now Cuddlebun is getting chased down. Go BM is here along with the GP. GP has to actually use Gale Force to
Yep.
get
Well,
away.
yes, go.
As GP gonna get gone on, Drex says, "Come here is now Okami in the back line. Does take quite a load of damage from that Nasus, but they will get the disengage out."
That was I didn't even see he had
It
to
was a
I was so confused.
surprising gale force.
I was so confused when he go for it.
When did GP get a dash?
But
As
yeah,
a formality, it double inhib here.
you know, that's 20 seconds on the GP. They don't have a ton of wave clear without him with the Baron minions. Karthus does do damage, but not too much to the Baron empowered minions. I think at most they get one Nexus turret if they're able to hit it, but I think they just back off here, take their resets, and look for another fight, spend their gold. They
Yeah.
are very strong right now.
Yeah, not making the typical mistake of trying to end too early. They realize that they are in a position where getting outscaled is kind of off the table. They have to be outfought. And if you're going to take a double Nexus turret fight, you're taking the chance of getting out pressured, outfought. So now they're just backing off. They're going to say, okay, we're going to give you a little bit of pressure on the map in exchange for keeping our lives, keeping our shutdowns, and we're probably going to fight you at the next neutral objective,
hmm
which
Yeah,
will be Dragon.
Dragon, that's their soul point. If they get that soul point, it's gonna be very hard. The Infernal Dragon, stacking on top of the damage from Vladimir and Zeri, it's gonna be a ton of damage that I don't think that only Go BM from CB Starlight can really deal with.
Yeah, Go BM has to go massive in these team fights to be able to win it, but I don't know how much he'll be able to survive. I mean, Okami is gigantic. You've got the Zeri now with not a lot of armor pin, to be fair, but Zeri is able to put out both AP uh, both AP and AD damage. Is now Cuddlebun just going
But,
forward. Yeah.
on the other side of the wall there, it's a little scary if Ash was committed, but again, everything up except for the Urgot flash for the side of Goldfish Gaming.
Yep.
And some flashes missing from GP and Go BM here.
No
Karthus
barrel
never had it.
found. The ultimate is used from both Okami and from the GP, is now Okami has to kite out. Go BM going low in the front side. Black Cleaver going big. And this is going to be a first game win for GFG going forward. Okami not able to find his triple kill, but there is 2 double kills. And GFG say thank you for the first game.
That I'd say that was a very, very, very well played game from GFG there. They played the early game aggressive. There may have been some fights where some things didn't go their way, but I think once Okami had that massive engage at the Dragon where he ended up getting the pentakill off, that was the game winning play. He just went crazy on the Vladimir. That's definitely a ban for the probably most of the CCS after seeing that.
Yeah, that Vladimir went absolutely ham. It looked great. I was very shocked to see how well that worked out. But hey, I mean, it's like I said, GFG are picking for comfort here, and that's normally how GFG rolls. They like to pick for their comfort. They don't like to force out meta picks that don't need to be there. They pick all comfort champions for everybody on the team, and it works out great. I mean, you can see it Vladimir pops off, gets 11 kills, or close to 13 kills, I believe, at the end of the game. Urgot for Cuddle Bun, he said, I'm going to 1v9. And hey, he didn't
Played
1v9,
well.
but he played extremely well.
This first game was definitely a statement game for the series. Very, very well played. I felt like it was pretty dominating performance from Goldfish.
Yeah, definitely a dominant performance from Goldfish Gaming. As we are going to go to a short break before the next game. Stick around. Game 2 of CB Starlight and Goldfish Gaming coming up. Welcome back, everybody. After an exciting first game, especially if you're a Goldfish Gaming fan, Okami, absolutely insane performance on the Vladimir. We got to see Gale Force on GP for a second there. A lot of surprises came out. What do you think, Matt G? GP's your favorite champion.
I love GP, but the Gale Force just wasn't it that game. If anything, it's just if you're going a mythic like that, just go Shield Bow against the Vlad or something. I don't know. That was a very exciting game. I really enjoyed watching it as a GFG fan myself. Someone called me a super fan. Um, but yeah, a very well played game from GFG. I feel like they played everything how they needed to with the early game aggression and then transferring the leads from what Vi was doing to the solo laners and then having bot lane, free scale. They played it really well.
Yeah, they did play extremely well. CB Starlight not able to make enough happen on the bot side. It was really like it was hard for them to do anything. Karma was trying to poke out, but Soraka was able to keep Zeri in the lane. Bean having a great time, just hitting minions. That's all he had to do was just hit minions, and he was able to do it well. He was able to keep himself in the game because of that. And with Ash not getting a significant lead or getting to her mythic first, the first few fights in this game were kind of difficult for CB Starlight. They had this tiny glimmer of hope when they found the fight around that dragon, and Goat BM went huge. But there's only so much a Nasus can do whenever everybody on GFG is fed. Nasus can only do so much for you.
I agree. The Nasus pick, it's good in the vacuum of the lane against the Vladimir, as you saw in the side lane. No MR items, was able to, beat him down. Had no heal cut either. So if but the pick didn't really work against the team. They just have, so much other damage. Like he has to get through the Vi, he has to get through the Urgot, who's very tanky as well. It wasn't easy to play, but in the lane it's fine. But other than that, there's not much he really can do in a 5v5. Is definitely the only tanky member as well.
Yep, as now draft is started for the second game. I'm wondering what the adjustments will be. Uh, what really kind of sucks low key about that last draft is that you found out that GP just not it's hard to blind GP into GFG apparently. Or no, it doesn't matter what you actually pick GP into because you just got a perfectly fine matchup with Urgot, but it didn't matter. Urgot still did his job extremely well and did not walk out of that lane behind, by the way. He
Hmm.
walked out 300 gold ahead. So
Yeah,
Vladimir obviously taken off the table. We don't want to see Mr. Okami on that pick another time.
he's just crazy on the champion. Sivir being banned as well. They just have the Sivir ban that I guess they just either don't want to play against it or don't want to play it. It's They just don't like the champion, I guess. And Jarvan banned as well. I feel like it's something that you usually ban against Drax. He's good on that champion,
Mhm,
and it's a very good playmaking champ. Which, as we saw with the Vi, I feel like was kind of how he plays.
mhm.
Kind of being aggressive, doesn't need too much farm to be useful. Which is a good play style. I like to see.
Yeah, definitely. I was literally just about to say that is that his Vi showed so much early presence, and I'm surprised by this. Zeri ban on blue side. I
Hmm.
think that is extremely surprising because Zeri is normally something that you just pick up blue one.
As we
So
saw with their last draft, yeah.
yeah, so I'm not sure what happened to for them not to want to play that. Maybe Daydream wasn't feeling it. Maybe they're thinking of another blind pick here. Possibly Senna. Yep, there we
Yep.
are. There it is. Senna being picked up, and you can pick this with multiple different things, but I think there's going to be a Tom Kench in this game.
I agree. Uh, they could, take it away. I don't think you really have to.
Mm-mm.
Uh, Definitely, we'll see what they pick. Karma being covered here.
Karma
So
Ezreal, maybe.
yeah, that's pretty good answer to send a TK with the amount of poke. It is kind of hard for TK to walk up and take the farm like that
Mhm.
when you're being constantly poked. And I'm assuming it should just be an Ezreal locked in here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we've been seeing more presence out of TK in like LPL, LCK. They've been picking it. We're not pro league, obviously, but we've been seeing it a
Oh.
lot as Urgot actually just going to get slammed down. And hold on, I've seen this before. No attack in Daydream. love to run farming Soraka bot lane with Senna. I've seen them do this before, and it does
Interesting.
somewhat work. But in the vacuum of this game, you've already got a Karma in the game. She's going to be able to build Chemtech very early.
Mhm.
You've got Urgot in the game. Urgot doesn't really care how much you heal. He's just going to get onto you and poke you out. Is now Swain,
Right.
actually.
Oh,
Soraka. There it is. I think that this is farming Soraka
I
in the bot lane.
it could be. I don't know if it's actually good. Definitely having TK, I feel like you have the more safety, and I feel like that would have been a better pick into the Urgot. But the Ornn locked in as well for the matchup. They kind of want to kind of just weak side top lane here, but it's kind of weird when you're locking Ornn with a Senna Soraka because you're kind of just playing towards one lane. You're either playing for mid or jungle this game. I don't see them really ganking for the Senna Soraka. And then the Vi locked in as well, as we saw from Drex last game. They're kind of running back similar stuff,
Yep.
and it worked.
They're also running back what I would consider a better support champion at the moment. Karma is kind of Exodia at the
Hmm.
moment because she's just able to give your team so many shields. She's able to continuously put down pressure in lane with her mantra Q and just regular Q. Shields are absolutely massive later in the game. And like, eh, I don't know. So far, I really like GFG's draft.
Hmm.
After seeing the Urgot perform last game, I don't know why they would not go back to it this game.
Yeah, he is very good at the Urgot, as it showed last game. And you're taking something like Ornn into it. I'm not sure on the matchup, but last game he did rush Black Cleaver, so he really doesn't need to do anything different. It's very similar with PTA and Black Cleaver. This Ornn will get shredded through pretty hard.
Yeah, and this time Okami is likely to get the counter pick this game.
Hmm.
And from what we saw last game, he blind picked, was counter picked, and still popped off as now Twitch being covered. I love this. Actually, this is a
I
huge pickup.
I like the Twitch being locked in. Twitch with Karma, I don't think is the best enchanter pairing to really take with it, but I still like it. Twitch with an enchanter is definitely very strong. And we see Graves being locked in here.
Let me think about this because I know that on GFG Platinum, there's a mid laner, or Kaiser,
Hmm.
absolutely loves Karma mid, by the way.
He does like Karma mid.
And,
It
and,
could be.
and I'm thinking that maybe there's not a lot of takiness on the enemy team other than
Hmm.
Ornn. He
Yeah,
could go for a Lulu here.
you could. I'm not too sure how the Karma Kali matchup goes. I don't think it's going to be very good for Karma.
For Karma. Mm-mm.
You could lock like Lysandre,
Lissandra work?
exactly. Yeah, Okami has he does play it. I know that. I've seen a couple clips and it's pretty scary. Oh,
Hey, it's
and it
actually Twitch
is
for the
it
Karma
is
mid.
the Karma mid. I like that actually.
I did not expect to see. I expected more so the Lulu here, but Rakan being picked up adds a little more engage. They're definitely going for that kind of more early game pressure type bot lane and into Senna, into Soraka with a Twitch. I mean, Twitch Rakan is a well known boosting combo.
Hmm.
A lot of boosters say, "Hey, just hop on the Rakan. I'll hop on the Twitch and let me get you some LP here." So maybe GFG knows something, or maybe GFG are just like, why not, man? Rakan, Twitch, it was meta like back in season 10. Why don't we pull it out here and just make it happen again?
I feel like into something like Senna Soraka with the Vi, I don't think you really need to invest too many resources into the top side of for the Urgot. And
Mm-mm.
really abusing this lane is something that they need to do because Graves is more of a farming jungler, typically full clears, but it is, I don't know. It's a very interesting draft from CB Starlight here. They have the scaling with the Senna, Ornn, Soraka, and Graves. Akali into this team comp, I feel like it's a little hard to play with the point and click CC that they have, but we'll see.
Yeah, I love GFG's draft here. It looks amazing.
Hmm.
Um, they picked straight. I mean, straight up. I'm just being honest from how I see it. They just picked once again. They picked for more comfort, and it worked out.
Mhm.
It works out really well, especially in team like we're not PG level. We're not like the highest level of gameplay, so not every single champion is going to be on the board. Once again, they don't go towards the meta. They go for stuff that they know how to play and they know how to play well. And I mean, from what we saw last game, Bean had no issue in the early game
Mhm.
whatsoever. And I can only assume that it's just going to be even easier for him in the spot lane. He's going to be able to get kills probably. He's going to be able to find his way into a lot of farm. This Twitch could be just mental. We could see some space gliding going on in
I'm
this game.
I am very excited to watch this Twitch. He's got double enchanter with a tanky front line. This is kind of the dream scenario that he has. Maybe
Mhm.
a Lulu instead of her comp, but that gives the engage option. I I do like it a lot.
Yeah, the only thing that he really has to watch out for later in the game is going to be Goat BM on the Akali.
Mhm.
Um, I believe the Akali was banned away last game, so they
It
weren't able to
was.
pick that out. But this game, they opted to ban out the Kindred instead, and Akali was picked right away. So obviously, Goat BM, a monster on Akali. He's a monster
Mhm.
player in general, but on the Akali, might be able to make the impact that CB Starlight need to kind of flip this game on its head.
Yeah, I agree. This is going to be a very exciting game to watch. Go BM on the Akali. That's his most played. It.
Mhm.
I'm. He needs to make a performance here, or have a very strong performance. And if not, he doesn't really have much other carries to rely on too much.
Yeah.
And the switch is just going to be a problem, I feel like.
Yeah. Twitch looking to be an issue. GFG go straight for the comfort while Goat BM gets his famous Akali. Game number
Mhm.
2. Will CB Starlight be able to take back this series and tie it all up? Or will GFG just say, no way, Jose, and close it out with some poison? Find out when we get on the Rift. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Summoner's Rift in the Game 2. And this is going to be a slamma-jamma experience. I think this is going to be a bloody game. Once again, love me, Kyle, joined by Matt G from
Mhm.
GFG Gaming Platinum. And we are ready for a banger.
I am very excited for this. Some interesting starts from item choices. It is the farming Soraka. Twitch with the D-ring start, but he does have lethal tempo. I know this is somewhat normal for the W for the lane start. It helps build prio a bit more. Senna Soraka does have the shove, I believe, or they should. Soraka Q does do a decent amount of damage to the minions, and Rakan's not too useful on that. And the call serve from the Urgot. So he does see it that he's probably not going to get a lot of attention from the top lane, or neither junglers really should go up there. And he's just going to farm the lane out. Any kill he does get is definitely a huge bonus, but some interesting starts and items.
Yeah, it starts in the items. Twitch obviously can go with this kind of standardish Doran's ring. It helps him with his mana issues early in the game, and it also just gives him a little bit of extra damage on his W, which is the likely start for this Twitch. I do find it interesting that Okami opted to actually go for Comet. It's a little more of a laning focused rune, whereas you could go for something like Airy. You can constantly proc it with your autos. You're in melee to range matchup. So Comet is interesting, but at the same time, I mean, I don't want to doubt him because he knows what he's doing, obviously, from that Vladimir game.
Yeah, for sure. He also went Ignite as well.
Mhm.
So he's really going aggressive in this lane, which I like to see.
Yeah, aggressive for sure. Akami, not really the type of person to just sit back and say, hey, if you want to farm it out, I'll easily farm it out with you. He kind of just wants the blood, and that's what he's looking for with this Ignite.
And then again, I think the lane to focus on this game is the bot lane for Goldfish. It's their GOAT on the Akali. It's his most played champion. He's a very talented player, so I'm excited to see what he can do with that. But he is a farming jungler with weak side lanes. It's just kind of the same scenario from last game in a way. How I think Drex can just be aggressive in this game, and they can kind of do
Oh,
similar
Soraka
strategies.
is going to get knocked up, but there's not much else coming. I did cut you off on accident there.
Oh, you're all good. But yeah, the D-ring start on Twitch, it gives him the extra damage on his W and E, and it's kind of more bursty in a way instead of auto attack based, which I feel like for these early levels, it's going to help him definitely do more damage.
Mhm.
There's already a big CS lead, or 9. The wave did crash in the bot lane, so we'll see how many hard to love can get, or no attack, sorry.
Yeah, I find it interesting that No Attack opts to go for something like the Airy this game. It's definitely a scaling rune as compared to Guardian, but Guardian is normally what most people will go, especially whenever you're into something that's kind of bursty like Twitch and Rakan, as it looks like both junglers on opposite sides of the map. Drex walking through mid lane is going to be able to double scuttle Graves, which kind of, I mean, it doesn't feel terrible after the scuttle nerfs. Is now Goat BM taking heavy trades to Okami. Okami gladly just saying, okay, I'll root you up with my W.
Yeah, it's definitely he's poking out a lot. He's already got the potion from Goat here. It's still 1 potion. He has the Ignite and Comet. He does have kill threat in this lane. Karma damage early is the mantra Qs. They do a lot of damage, as that shows.
Yep,
And
as it literally shows.
it's Goat's gonna struggle in this lane. And he has Conquer. He could have opted in for the fleet work for the early game for this, but I think the Conquer is a little bit better for scaling. And we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, a little better on the scaling. Definitely is now the W does come out from Twitch. Graves is here to kind of counteract this. Will Rakan make his way out? Yes. Drex coming in. Now, I do believe that Bean, Helper, and Drex might be able to win it, but nah, they're going to opt to just back off, and I'm fine with that as well.
They got the wave pushing into them. He already has a CS lead.
Ooh, big flip.
Little trade going in the top lane there. He is on the call. He's up CS. It's how the lane he wants to this lane want to go, and I feel like this is how he expected it to go.
Yep, it's exactly how we expected it to go. It's kind of just this Ornn just chilling, last hitting as many minions as he can. Opts to go for the first item for the slowdown armor. I don't know what that item's actually called, but yeah, he goes for the slowdown autos item. So I think it's it's definitely good to go this item into most AD champions in the top lane, because if you go Bramble, or sorry, if you go for Sun, or the man, I am just choking it. If you go for your Flame, Bomby Cinder, if you go for Bomby Cinder, you're going to be pushing out the lane artificially, and you don't want that if you're in this matchup.
Not at all. You kind of want this to push into you as Cuddlebun is doing. It's definitely he's just perfectly fine taking the scaling. Started the call, hasn't recalled. I mean, I guess neither has said. Said opting, or said, sorry. His name's dead.
Oh, is now GoatBM gonna go forward? Doesn't have Ignite here. Okami knows that he has to flash away. Doesn't want to die. Uses the flash to get away. It's maybe a little cautious, but didn't know exactly where Graves was on the map.
Yeah, and sorry, I got sidetracked there. Yeah, that's getting the.
Ooh, Con W does come down. Hard to love. Going to continue getting traded onto Hey Bean. Going to continue going forward as well. Maybe finds another auto. No, not going to be able to. I think the E has already been used, and that's going to be first blood over to Graves.
Yeah, that's very good gank from Graves there. They are pushed up. They're trying to cross the wave. They take an engage, and it's just they don't need to do these things. When it's, yes, they can go for trades, but they have no vision in their bot side river at all, except for a war in the pixel bush.
Cuddlebun showed up in the mid lane, but GoatBM smartly deciding to flash away. And we do see this game Drex not really making much happen in the early game. He's more kind of farming this one out, trying to see, I can punish this Graves gank by farming out his top side. I would like to see Drex get down to this bot side a little more and help his bot lane out, push out waves.
I feel like since he got this level 6 here, he can definitely make more things happen, especially with how Rakan can play it as well, with the E onto the Vi as he's going into the W for the knockup. I feel like they have that combo there that they're just kind of waiting for. He got his first recall, which was pretty big. Caulfield's and Sheen is definitely a strong buy.
Yep, Caulfield's Sheen, he's almost not 1v1able at this point. He does so much damage, has that Hail of Blade, so he's already getting quick trades off onto you. Once he gets that Q, he'll hit you for like 300 damage with that Sheen. It's hard to fight this Vi at this moment.
It is. He is strong right now. Mid lane is down a good amount of CS.
Ooh, Okami uses the Ignite to try to force GoatBM away from him, and it does work.
And Drex has, when they made the play onto the Dragon for CB Starlight, he traded the blue buff, and he's now traded the red buff as well, or just taken the red buff.
Cuddlebun is down here. GoatBM going straight into that Cuddlebun. Is going to find himself in a Cuddle Done. As now, I love you so much. Running away, Drex not going to find the kill, but wait, Urgot gets the drag back. Gonna find the kill onto Okami as well. Helper flashes away, but gonna die. Bellbook Ornn, and that's a double kill for Ornn.
That's a good amount of kills for the Ornn here.
Double kill for Cuddlebun as well.
Yeah, it's an even trade, but I think those kills going on to Cuddlebun here is just, it's much more important, because this lane is still gonna be hard for Urgot. Nothing changes there, and he kind of just walks up and does this to him.
He's also got red buff and blue buff, so this guy doesn't have to leave lane. He can just stay here forever.
Not at all. He definitely has Black Cleaver in base, but finishing the call, getting that extra gold, that's like another kill pretty much. He's in a very good spot right now. And being that their main kind of source of frontline, it's hard for the rest of CB Starlight to really kill him. And
perfect buffer there, Cuddlebun. is just going to get the autos down. Not going to do too much damage to Ornn. Ornn is on Frozen Heart at this moment. So once he gets that Black Cleaver, he'll start doing a little more damage. But until then, he'll just be tickling Ornn.
Yeah, he's really not doing much to him right now. It's just peanuts, pretty much.
Yeah.
And he has the Black Cleaver in base 100%. He's waiting on that one more minion. He's going to crash this wave and most likely reset. Maybe get a plate out of it too. That's an extra 160 gold. I don't think they should be looking for a dive here. No. He does have to... I guess they all have
ultimate. Urgot ultimate is up. They're going to find the CC on the Drex. The Senna ultimate does come down as well, but the suppression is too much. Gets pulled back. Shutdown goes over to Urgot, actually. And that's going to be a few plates, but will Bean be able to walk his way out of the situation? Flashes away. He does live, so they don't trade anything back yet. Cuddlebun going to get gone on by GoatBM, and GoatBM says thank you for the shutdown. Overstays his welcome just slightly.
He is an Akali player, and it shows. That was a very well played engage. It wasn't too hard to do, but just the way he played just looks nice. I'm not gonna lie. But Cuddlebun on this on this buy does have the Black Cleaver plus a Tiamat, and that's a huge spike.
Yeah, that is a gigantic spike for the Urgot. Able to get tons and tons of damage, and also the AoE to shove out the lane is now Cuddlebun making his way. It seems like everybody on GFG have a similar idea of where they want to look for this next play, and it's going to be that dragon.
Yeah, this is a big fight. Akali won't or should have R up when it spawns.
GoatBM getting flashed on, but not going to find the root. Okami just slightly late on that flash forward.
That is very unfortunate. Losing your flash before this dragon fight. Akali will have flash, Akali will have ult. It's scary for the side of Goldfish right now. They need a pick right now.
Look at the funnel here as Drex going forward, but not going to find much as he gets rooted down. Okami kind of zoned out of this fight right now, and Akali is on the flank. GoatBM looking to keep up the pressure from the side. Yes, Okami gets gone on. Going to use the shield to try to run away. Let's have the Ignite, has his full team there, and I think this could be enough pressure for them to get this dragon. Is now Cuddlebun staying in the fight. Cuddlebun going forward. Ornn ulti is called down. Cuddlebun found in the front. He's not that tanky right now as Urgot has to flash away. And GoatBM, you can see on the opposite side, is just zoning out the entire team. It's Drex going low. Drex going to keep getting hit with some shurikens. GoatBM finds the kill. No kills traded for GFG. And this is a complete wash for CB Starlight.
They're not at the point of the game where they need to be. Twitch isn't on really any items at all.
Ooh, Helper getting traded, getting hit by Ornn, but Ornn just going to throw some breath at him and walk out of that situation.
It's just how strong Goat is right now.
Okami is just dead here. Helper going to go forward, not going to find the knockup, and that is just Okami dying for a second time this game without needing to. Bean getting dove bot.
He's just in a really hard spot right now. This game, they've dove the switch, or they've tried to dive the switch at least 3 times now. He's not really allowed to play the game right now, and kind of only Cuddlebun is the only strong member of Goldfish Gaming. It kind of looks like a different team from game 1.
Yeah, game 1 definitely a different team, different play style completely from game 1. Drex not quite as aggressive at the moment. Hasn't been able to find the plays, and I think that honestly they're not playing around anything. They're just kind of running out on the map, doing things that they don't need to do. I mean, we put a little bit of pressure on the Cuddlebun's lane, but he doesn't need that. He's an Urgot into Ornn. He can perfectly survive up here himself. You need to help out this Twitch, and they just weren't able to do that for him early game, and they're feeling the consequences now as Senna picks up a Bork.
I did see the components for a Bork. I haven't seen that before. I guess if Senna's main job here is to kill the front line of Goldfish, that is kind of a good item to do so, I guess. Not normal for sure.
Yeah,
Those Qs are
not
doing some
normal.
damage though.
Definitely not normal, but I have seen people talking about where Senna does actually more damage with a certain set of items versus her normal build, which is normally Kraken. But I've seen that people have been talking about Bork being the actual good rush on her. So we're going to see that in action here, and maybe it'll work out in Daydream's favor. His laning phase has kind of ended. Everybody's moving into the side lanes, trying to get pressure onto the map. Graves
Yeah.
resets his grub.
It is hard for Okami to side lane against the Akali here. Really needed to kind of play more with Drex and have them do something together, kind of make impact around the map. Because I guess you do have the Comet, the Ignite, you're playing to kind of poke out the Akali, but if that doesn't work, then you just get outscaled. And it's incredibly hard to deal with an Akali, especially how he's been playing it. It's very, very good at it.
Yeah, GoBM showing why this Akali is so feared and definitely making the most of this pick against Okami this game, showing flexing his own muscles against Okami, who definitely got the chance to flex his last game.
They gave Vlad away, and in the first game they gave Okami his one trick, and now they give Goat his most played, and we're seeing that they can both perform on these champions.
Yeah, both mid laners are essentially crucial to how this matchup will go. I said the bot lane is the most important, but you can't forget the fact that Okami was the reason why GFG Plat last season were so good. They would play through him. He would make most of the plays with his jungler or with his jungler Mossy, and between those two, they were able to make a lot happen. Now, Okami is down. However, he does have the Leandries finally completed, so he's going to do damage up front. Up to the front line now. And also, it's now GoBM looking for the solo kill. Okami going to continue getting eaten alive by this Akali, but no, GoBM doesn't actually go for the kill. It's now Cuddlebun going forward. Stat just going to eat the auto.
Not doing too much damage to him. That Frozen Heart Ninja Tabbies, he does have Black Cleaver, but he just doesn't do enough.
Yeah, is now Drex looking. He finds the double Q. Will they be able to pick up both kills, though? Hard to have. Flashes away. GoBM is here with no ultimate. Stet finds double knockups. Going to be able to find another double knockup. Helper in the danger zone. Bean going to continue getting gone on Stet. Going to find himself a kill underneath the turret. And that was a big turnaround for CB Starlight.
That was a very, very good double TP there.
Stet just used E into turret. I don't know what happened, but it happened.
And very, very interesting. But yeah, that is the Rift Trail being dropped mid. They get a turret, but Cuddlebun did trade 2 turrets onto the other side of the map. But off this, CB Starlight should get third drag here. Excuse me, and that's sole point for them.
Yeah, CB Starlight gonna get this third dragon, gonna get it off the map, so there are no shutdowns. There are no shutdowns currently able to be taken. And actually, if you looked at it, is now Okami gonna go forward? Maybe gets the root on the Graves, is gonna find it. Drex looking for the Q, but not gonna quite have the range to get onto this Graves. And the thing is that whenever Urgot actually took those turrets, they were not shut down turrets, so they didn't get the full maximum gold out of that. Urgot got a lot of full gold, which is great, but Urgot is not going to be the one winning this game for you. It's going to be Bean, as they do pick up a shutdown gold.
Bean is on the board. In that last fight, it kind of looked like they had some split focus. Bean was hitting the Soraka the whole time, and Senna kind of was being focused by the other two. It didn't look in sync in comparison to CB Starlight with that really, really well played double TP into the Ornar and the turret dive. It's just they played it much better. Yeah,
Ornhorn there went massive. He got 2 double knockups, one with the E, one with the ultimate, so it was just rough for that Twitch. Got caught into the fumble zone as now Cuddlebun looking to kind of push this advantage that he did grab. You do see Ornn went for Locket this game.
That is a little interesting. He had the Balmy Cinder
and sold it
and sold it for the Locket. guess for the AoE damage or AoE shield for the Twitch. I guess that could be something. I'm really not sure. Graves did pick up the Gore Drinker though, which I actually really like, especially with a champion like Soraka. He's gonna be able to kind of just sit in between all of the members of Goldfish and just not really die, because they're not strong enough right now to really deal with that.
Yeah, nobody on Goldfish is quite able to find nobody on Goldfish is going to be able to find kills onto Graves. Is now Cuddle Bun in a situation, but he's going to be able to find the flip, doing a lot of damage to this Ornn now. He's going to continue just kiting away, using the legs. Continues using the legs. I love you so much. Actually flashes onto him, but Goat BM on the other side is going to get gone on. They don't have the vision needed, but wait, actually Drex does get the ultimate down, but he's going to go a little too far forward. And Akami not able to follow up. They thought that maybe they had Twitch there. Goat BM picks up a double kill, and that's going to be translated into a Baron.
Goat BM on this call it's similar to Okami's flat. I think this needs to be banned. He is very, very, very good at this champion.
Yeah, the Akali coming through here, I don't know if they were just not expecting it or if it just kind of came out, but the Akali has been massive for the side of CB Starlight, and you can tell why most teams actually just ban this thing away. Even if they can counterpick it, it's just way too difficult, and he's way too proficient at this champion.
And watching that replay with Goat playing that fight, he has double enchanter, or well, Soraka and Senna both have good healing. And they just don't have the damage to kill that yet. Now Okami does have the Putrefier now, so he's only on just Putrefier. That's a little bit of heal cut. May need a little bit more from another member on the team, just to really, because right now for the champions for CB Starlight, everyone but Ornn is healing. It's a struggle for them to really deal with right now.
Ooh, Cuddle Bun tried to go forward. Does force the flash out of Ornn and the Ornn horn used. Not much else, but I do want to say, look at the Graves build. He's going for more of a tankier, more of a duelish type, bruiser type build here, which is fine really in this Switch. Yeah, it's good.
It's very, very hard for them to kill really anyone right now, and you know, Dragon coming up here, this is their soul in 50 seconds.
Stet is going to be the target of a kill here. Cuddle Bun going to find the flip, going to use the ultimate also to get him down. Will they be able to drop this Ornn low enough to kill him? Not quite, not yet, and he's just going to live as now Helper has to go forward to try to distract the rest of the team, and they're not going to find the kill. Urgot goes down, double kill. Goes over to Graves, is now picking his way into the fight. There has been a lot of cooldowns used as now. I love you so much. Going forward, he was hiding, he says, as he throws down the W, but not going to find anything out of that. That's going to be Dragon Soul going over to CB Starlight.
It's just way too hard to be able to kill anyone on the side of CB Starlight. They invested so much in that Ornn play to try and kill him. Didn't work out. And after that, it's just the actual damage dealers of CB Starlight showed up. And it's just too difficult to deal with. We have...
Oh, not quite going to find the steal onto the Dragon. As Goat BM is actually low in the mid lane. He will ultimately go down to Okami.
Trades 1-for-1 Bean.
Yeah. Trades 1-for-1, but they do get the soul.
I think where they are at this point in the game, it's going to be very hard for them to lose. They're so strong right now, very tanky, and it's just, they can't really deal with killing them, and it's just looking kind of doomed for Goldfish here.
Yeah, Goldfish gonna have a rough time throughout the rest of this game. I mean, you really need to get this Twitch onto his Kraken Slayer like yesterday. And the fact that he is not in a place where he's up, I mean, he's up in farm, but it's against Soraka. Soraka only needed the 2 items. That's all she needed, really. So, I mean, you're not ahead in almost any lane besides what you had with Urgot, but now Ornn is just becoming maximum value as the Ornn is now building for a Spirit Visage, which I find interesting.
I guess the extra healing does help out. He has given the first ornament to Akali
Yep.
onto the Proto Belt. Just the extra burst damage there is going to be very helpful.
Yep, it's going to be helpful for that Akali, and it's going to help her get more stats, more health, more everything. I mean, Twitch is chilling with just a Bork at the moment, and I think that you just start feeding him everything because he needs it.
He needs it really bad right now. Kind of the rest of the teams on their... I mean, Drex he's not having the best game compared to last game. We saw the Vi last game. It was doing a lot in the early game, but Graves, he's just been farming and becoming unkillable with the Frozen Heart third item. It's really good itemization from some of the members of CB Starlight here.
Yep. Cuddlebum was sitting just slightly out of vision to try to surprise them maybe, as now the Ornhorn does get called down. Bean sitting in this fight. Will he be able to find the pick onto Hard to Love? No. Stopwatch comes out. Big Orn knock up, and Goat BM is here to clean up whatever did not die in the beginning. Cuddlebun, is he going to be able to get away? Has the shield, but no. Ultimately will go down. Okami has to run away now, and Drex goes in 1v9. Won't be able to find the kill. Triple kill to I Love You So Much. Quadra kill to I Love You So Much. And this will be game for CB Starlight to tie it all up.
This is definitely once this early game didn't work out, Stet is just he does not die. The double chat. I thought he was doing what he did at the mid tier 2, and you know, they have too much healing coming out from this team. They don't get the end here.
They don't
but
end it.
They get the inhib. It's
almost a formality. Yeah.
24 to 5, 10k gold lead. It's a struggle for them right now.
Yeah, and it's a struggle. Now, the gold lead is a little bit misleading because you have Soraka who's just not farming at all. But if Soraka was also farming like a little bit better, it would be even larger.
This is a real struggle game for Goldfish here.
Yep, they kind of went unorthodox compared to their first draft, put Okami onto something more supportive, but they didn't play the early game quite as they needed to. They needed to put more pressure towards this Twitch. Now, I will say, all is not doomed yet. Twitch can still get his items. It will take forever, but Helper found in the wrong place, and he's about to go to the quiet place. Never mind. Ornn actually misses the ultimate.
Ornn does miss the ultimate. Baron comes up here.
Baron coming up. Cuddlebun, whoa, my goodness. Cuddlebun loses basically his full health bar in that, and I Love You So Much, not even taking damage from Bean. He just says, hey, how you doing? Up in that front line, and yep, that is frontline Graves living through an entire Twitch ultimate. Daydream going forward by herself. Could get traded on.
It's just, there's too much healing, damage. There's just too much of everything coming from this side of CB Starlight. This game is just a complete stomp, and at this point, it's like they get the Baron, they end the game. There's not much that the side of Goldfish can do here.
Okami rooted, gonna get found by Daydream. Helper maybe next on the menu. Nope, they're not gonna continue going forward. They said, we're just gonna take this Baron, please. They don't do Baron very fast.
They don't do Baron very fast. They're just, they're farming stats at this point. Yeah. This game is pretty over.
Yeah, it's a rough game. You really need your Twitch to get to I mean honestly, Randuin's is probably the only item that he can really go to do anything for impact. Urgot got decently ahead in the early game, but that's not who you needed ahead. You needed your Twitch. You already knew that the lead was coming, but I don't want to harp on it too much, though, as there is another fight coming up. Elder Dragon going to be on the map here in about 30 seconds. TP already coming through.
I don't think they're actually going to fight for the Elder. I mean, they probably don't even need it. It's a flip to go for. Even if Goldfish gets it, it doesn't really change anything.
Cuddlefish has to run away from the Graves. Graves is a little far up. I mean, they don't have the rest of their team here. They're going to call for the engage. There is a TP coming down. That's going to be Ornn coming through. I Love You So Much taking damage, but how much damage will he really take as Daydream finds the kill onto Cuddlebun? Hey, I'm Bean is next, and goodbye Okami. You had a good game last game, but not this game as the smoke screen comes down. Legendary for I Love You So Much, and Drex is just left to do his own bidding. underneath the Nexus turrets.
Mm-hmm. Drex, it's him against the world right now.
I think the
Will
world
he
wins
try?
this.
I think the world wins this, unfortunately. It's this will be the end of game 2 here.
Yeah, this was not Vi from Arcane this game, unfortunately, is you just see how much that healing is for Set. That is dives the Nexus turret, just gonna die one more time for good time's sake as we get a game 3 and CB Starlight looking really dominant that game. Not gonna lie. I mean, I mean, I thought that the draft was fine for GFG, but hey, I'm now 0 for 2 in drafts at this
Mhm.
point. 0 for 2.
I did predict the CV Starlight draft in game 1, but this game I did predict Goldfish, and it just didn't work out. They didn't play to what they needed to play to. I feel like I like the Karma mid. I like the idea of Karma mid with Rakan and the Twitch, kind of, but it's kind of putting all your eggs in a basket there. I
Mhm.
feel like having the counter pick on the blind Akali is, like the Lissandra could have been good this game. But again, it's just they just got so far ahead, and the healing they had was just too much.
Yeah, the healing definitely a big reason why they couldn't get any picks, especially in side lane. They didn't have a lot of heal break on the enemy team because they just weren't able to itemize for it. If you think about it, Urgot maybe can go for a Chemtech chainsword or a Chempunk chainsword, but at that point, he's just the item is really efficient, but it's not the best on Urgot, and he needed to continue building things that would be able to help him shred Ornn in side lane, and he's just not able to find much, and Okami. Uh, let's just put him back on a carry, see what he can do. I mean, Goat BM kind of just ran over this mid lane this game.
Yeah, go on the Akali. It's got to be a ban. It's
Yeah.
very, very good performance from Goat there. It's really showing that he is, the carry to this team. They didn't have him in week 1, and they did lose, but week 2 came along, and they have him back, and he's playing very well.
Yeah. Goat playing extremely well in that second game. Well, before we get into the next game's draft, we're going to take a quick break, but stick around, stay with CCS, and also hit that follow button, guys. Come on. We need to get those numbers up. Stick around. We're going into intermission. We'll see you in game 3 draft. Welcome back, everybody, as we're about to get into this game three draft. Just to summarize how the last game actually went. Essentially, GOAT BM just kind of went crazy on the Akali. GFG didn't really play to their win cons, and GFG took the fat L.
Yeah, it's they really just didn't play towards their win con and lost. And I don't know. They can't be surprised with how that game went, with how they played.
Mhm.
Similar bans coming up from the first two games, or the Yumi ban. They just don't want to play against that, I guess.
Yep,
It
no
looks
Yumis
it,
allowed.
it's looking like the similar kind of bans. I'd be surprised if Akali makes it through.
I would be surprised as well. So there's a chance that maybe they don't ban it, but I would not give GOAT another high prio pick. And honestly, it might be hard to pick Seraphine first here if they give you the chance because they're going to answer with something like Silas.
Hmm.
Maybe.
I
I'm, yeah,
could be. It's definitely the champion is still very strong for the healing as well.
yes.
So that's one part. But giving the Incenna ban, giving the South the Seraphine R is definitely not something you want to do. And if they're
Yeah,
not first picking it, then they're giving it away to people who play it, like No Attack, Chelsea. They both play it, or Daydream, sorry.
but I do remember from the first ban that they did ban it anyways, even if Silas was up. So, I'm maybe Okami has a pick into Akali that's better than Karma,
Mm,
possibly. As now Seraphine, I mean, it's kind of a
yep.
formality at this point, but
Mhm,
you're probably looking Seraphine B1. I'm
yep.
predicting that Silas is probably going to come out on like R3 maybe as Blitzcrank being hovered. Not traditionally what you would see as the counter to Seraphine, but I digress. They go ahead and hover over the Graves. He might want that again. He played pretty well on it last game.
Graves Blind, I feel like they should have a pick to punish it. I don't think they'll play Vi again for the third game in a row. There's got to be something else, or it's just the Ornn
You see,
R1.
they're leaving up Urgot again. And the thing is that Cuddlebun has been playing extremely well despite that even last game, he was playing extremely well up until the end of that game. So you can still go for an Urgot this game. It doesn't, I mean, I don't think that you change that. I think you can continue going for the Urgot. If you don't want to go for Urgot, you can pick things like Mord. You can pick
Hmm.
things, I mean, Silas is on the table, with Sona Ul, Orn Ul already being shown. Silas is on the table. You've got different
There's
options as Mordekaiser being hovered. Traditional Orn counter, by the way.
hmm It is a good counter into Ornn just to really punish him in lane. When he tries to use that ult, he can ult him to deny the second charge of it,
Mhm.
which is something I like as well. We'll see what the B3 is here, because right now they are pretty magic damage heavy. So I'm really wondering where this Seraphine will go. I feel like it's better in the AD position or the mid lane.
Mhm.
I'm not too much a fan of it from the support, and it looks like it is still flex between mid and support right now. But taking the Ezreal here, they're still very magic damage heavy. Ezreal is AD, but does do the partial magic damage. Ooh, the Vayne
Glitch?
hover.
Hmm. I don't think that I mean, I have seen Callista Sona before. I have seen it. It has been played. It's not horrid. Nyla being hovered, that's not gonna be picked.
uh,
I think that's
Not
disabled
allowed.
still.
Yeah, not allowed. Misfortune being locked in. Now, this game, I, I'm not a big fan of Misfortune into these three champions so far. Misfortune sets up for the ult. Seraphine can counter it with the ult of her own through the teammates.
Mhm.
But Ezreal as well, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of it. Kindred goes away, and they are hovering a Akali ban. I'd really recommend banning a Akali.
Yep, there it goes.
Yep.
They decided, "Hey, GOAT, you had your fun.
Mhm.
Uh, please do not destroy us this game." And honestly, if you're GFG, you're looking to ban Silas right now on as well.
Yeah, 100%. This is some very good ults that he can take so far. Can
Mhm.
make the Mordekaiser Death Realm a 2v2 instead of the 1v1, which can change
Yep.
things a lot.
Mhm.
Jinzhou being banned, that is a good ban as well. Into the MF. Oh, never mind, leave it up.
Mhm.
And there's the
Vi.
Silas.
Vi being banned away, I think that Drex might actually look to go for something like this in Zao. But hey, Mordekaiser can be played in the jungle. Mordekaiser can be played. It's not a traditional Drex champion, but it is something that they can look to pick. Also, Trundle is up right now, and that's kind of a pretty popular pick as well. And
Mhm.
it does have a lot of early priority.
They're hovering Udyr and Hecarim, and I know Trundle is good into Hecarim. I wouldn't imagine it being much different for Udyr, but the Graves being hovered here, they do need a little bit more damage, not just the Misfortune.
Yeah, and if Graves is locked in, oh,
Oh,
Talon.
Talon being locked in. Now,
This can
uh,
go
I
jungle,
love
can
you
go
so
mid.
much. He has been playing it a lot,
Mhm.
so it most likely will go to jungle, but Talon Blind, I feel like can get punished pretty easily.
Yeah, you can punish it. There is plenty of things that you can pick, like team fighters. You can also still pick the. I mean,
Mhm,
Orn. Orn is still on the table, so you still are just able to get a huge maximum advantage over. And
mhm.
honestly, GFG. I know I'm theorizing here, but Trundle can go top into Orn, and you
Trundle
can play
could go top.
and you play
Ooh.
Mordekaiser jungle, and your clear is just as fast as Talons, if not faster. So there's always possibilities with this draft.
Mhm. Okami Kiana being covered, and it will be locked in.
Oh, Malphite.
Oh god. Okay. I was about to say, they lock a Malphite mid here, there's no way they're killing them, but I'd like to see a skill matchup in the mid lane. Or where
Okami can't go. By the way, just so everybody knows that is viewing, you cannot go the first strike glitch bug. That's
hmm,
off the table. You cannot do that. So,
might give them a reminder. Let's make sure they know. And
yeah,
that will be the
first strike bug off the table for Kiana. Victor going to be locked in, very consistent. Lots of poke damage. Oh, Oriana. Okay, okay. So, producer, just let me know Oriana is the pick there.
they do have the combo team fight with Ornn, Oriana, Misfortune, so
Oh, hold
adding
on. It's Ari. Sorry, Ari, not Ori. Ari. Okay.
Ari.
Yep. We fixed that up. It's Ari here. R5. So that's even better into Kiana.
Mhm.
Honestly.
I think that's a good matchup for them. I didn't actually mind the Orianna too much, to be honest, but
Mhm.
having that is a little scary against, Trundle Kiana.
Mhm.
Ari does give a little bit more safety at level 6. I want to see them play more aggressive in the mid lane pre-6. So if they're able to do that, get the Ari behind, get Kiana ahead, that would be perfect, but let's just see.
Yeah, I mean, you'll want to try to kind of play around your Ari. Talon's not a very good ganking jungler.
Mhm.
He's able to put down the W, but as far as CC, you're going to have to land something. And if Ari is not able to find the charm, then I think Kiana can just kind of hop away, get away, whatever. It doesn't really matter for Kiana too much. I will say that Mordekaiser or Trundle are on the table as far as ganks go. Ornn is able to CC Trundle or Mordekaiser for a very long time,
Mhm.
if Mordekaiser is before level 6.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this game works out. I out of draft, I am in favor of GFG here. A little bit of bias there, but I think everyone on these champions, there's it's champions they play again. It's like comfort again. I
Hmm.
feel like, and then there's a little meta in there as well. I feel like the Seraphine is kind of unpunished. Uh, Not too much to really, you know, again punish it. Like there's the Talon which you have to always be aware of, but
Hmm.
having the Mordekaiser there is it's definitely a good pick.
Yeah, Mordekaiser is likely to go huge this game. I think that Mord pulling in something like the Sona, pulling in anything like Misfortune, Victor. I think that he wins all of these 1v1s as just a champion goes. Mordekaiser is a very strong champion in the 1v1 setting. Now, as far as team fights go, I have to side with the side of CB. They have a much better top lane pick for team fighting. Their support is able to put down a lot more healing faster and also has good speed ups, the damage buff, and then also her ult is instantaneous rather than how Seraphine's has a wind up, and you have to hit more people to get it off well, and all of that good jazz. Talon is able to cause a lot of disruption, and obviously, Ari is a menace in most team fights.
I agree. This is going to be a very good game 3.
Yeah. Game 3 going to be really good. I think that we're having some connection issues with the jungler, so please stay tuned with us because or stay patient here because we do have some jungle issues. Going back to the last game, I think that what GFG need to learn about is that if you're going to look to pick something like a Twitch, or you're going to look to put something that has to have a better laning phase, then you have to play towards that laning phase. And what they're doing here is they're kind of saying, hey, don't really have to play towards Ezreal to make things happen. Sona is a very punishable champion, as well as Misfortune. So there is a lot of possibility that Trundle looks to, if Trundle's going jungle, we don't know yet. It could still be Mordekaiser. But there could be the chance that the jungler does decide to pat down there and make plays on that side of the map.
I do think it will be Trundle jungle just based off of champion pool wise. I haven't seen a lot of Mordekaiser jungle in Drex's match history.
Yep.
But I feel like the 2v2 of Trundle Kiana in comparison to Talon Ari, it's just they get a little bit of lockdown with the in the river with the ice element from Kiana, and they just die. It's a lot of damage that comes out from Trundle, especially in the early game.
Yeah, if Trundle decides to go for something like PTA, it's a lot more burst damage, exposing the enemy to Kiana. Kiana's able to do damage much faster at a greater pace. But then you've also got Trundle can also go lethal tempo this game. There's always options with Trundle. He can go for a tank build even, and it would be still good. I mean, to be honest, I think that he most likely goes for Divine Sunderer because that's what most Trundles go at the moment. But I wouldn't mind to see something like the Frostfire, or maybe even shout out to Coffee, Kimtech, or Kimpunk, or Kimtech. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, there you
Kim
go.
Tank. There we go. Kim Tank. My bad. As we are starting to get into the in-game draft after that delay, but now it's go time. Both of these teams, it's a 1-to-1 situation. Both teams want this win, and I'm sure GFG definitely want to get this win. They need to do something because the coming out of last split where Okami was a champion, it would feel really nice for him to get another better start rather than going down 0-2. CB also, I mean, they're one of the lower elo teams in this entire tournament, and if they're able to pick up this win here, it would give them a lot of momentum going into their next week.
And reminder, both these teams are 0-1 in week 1. So they really do need this. Starting 0-2 in a 5-week season it's crippling pretty much. You can't drop any series. It's a really big struggle.
Yeah, only 5 weeks in this nice little tournament. We're kind of keeping it consolidated. But yeah, both of these teams 0-1 in their first week. Both teams would really like to look to get this win, and there's a lot of nerves coming into this last game. I'm sure. I'm sure that both teams are kind of like they're confident, they're ready to go. I think that you got a much more comfortable draft from GFG this time around, putting Okami onto a carry, having Helper onto more of an enchanter type champion. So and then also on the side of CB, you kind of ran it back. You kind of look at the same, like, we're going to team fight you. We're going to team fight you better. And we're going to pick a stronger lane, or we're going to pick for kind of that more later game scaling rather than looking for something like Akali that just stomps lane.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited to see how this game 3 goes. Both these teams really need this series win. Anyone drops it, it's a struggle for them. I think the main matchup here is the mid lane again. I feel like if Okami gets this lead on Kiana, it's gonna be like the first game, and he's gonna take over. But if he falls behind, it's gonna be a struggle.
Yes, if he falls behind, it would be a struggle for the side of GFG. We're getting into the game almost shortly, and I can't help but feel like my heart is pounding just for these teams in general. This is a lot of pressure getting put onto them at the moment. So, my heart is pounding for them. I'm sure that their heart is ready to go. But I'll tell you what, I like both of these drafts. And you know what that means? they probably use pro comps. Okay. Pro comps is a first of its kind drafting tool aimed for competitive and solo queue play. Pro comps allows the user live feedback and analysis on drafting, giving them recommendations on picks, notes on matchups, and analysis on the enemy team's win cons. And I'm sure that both of these teams with pro comps would be able to find out, hey, this is what the team is looking for. These features allow the user to gain an edge on their opponent and improve their drafting skills. Use code CCS25 for 25% off your first 6 months. Again, CCS25, 25% off your first 6 months. I'm Kyle. I'm joined by Matt G. We're getting into a game 3 here. Everybody get hype in the chat. Put your predictions down, and let's get on to the Rift after this short break. and welcome to Summoner's Rift for an exciting Game 3 here in the CCS League of Legends Diamond. As Matt G and I were talking about it during the break, but I think that this is going to be a nerve-wracking, maybe even an overly exciting game. I might not make it through it. I know Matt G is currently chewing on his fingernails probably. We're both nervous.
I'm very, very excited for this game. Looking at the item starts, it's 2 tier starts for the side of Goldfish here. Looking like the Man Immune Kiana, no first strike abusing with the bug, which is good. And it's looking like it's going to be the lethality build from Misfortune here with the Comet and the tier start. Standard, I feel like. And not too much different. Okami has Ignite compared to Goat going TP, kind of playing more, I guess, for the side lane. But I feel like, looking at the drafts here, I'm excited to see the team fighting coming out, because a lot of teams have, big ults. If they can chain it correctly, it could be very game-changing.
Yep, the champions in this game definitely oriented more towards that team fighty style. Okami chilling on the Kiana. He's been putting work on this champion for as long as I can remember, and it's a big pick of his. But into this Ahri, it's going to be a little rough during this laning phase, so stand by.
Yep, the real ones remember Goldfish versus Horizon. I think it was game 4. The Kiana came out and absolutely popped off.
Only the real ones would know that, though. Nobody else.
Exactly.
Yep, as this laning phase for bot lane, how do you think that the top lane matchup is going to go with Cuddle Bunny? He's been pretty dominant so far, but how do you think he does on this new champion?
I think he'll do just as well as he's been doing the last few games. Right, he's been the most consistent player for Goldfish this season, or this series, sorry. In my opinion, both games has played very well. Given he has had some decent matchups, but again, both were blind picks his champions. So he's really just picking his champ and saying, you can take whatever you want, I'm not scared.
Daydream taking a lot of poke damage early in this lane is now Okami going forward. The Ignite does come out. Goat BM going low. The pillar's big, and they're going to find the first blood as Trundle picks that up.
Well, that's what I really like to see from Drex. This is like game 1. He's playing aggressive. He's playing towards his strong early game champions, and he's making plays happen. That's the first blood for him. He didn't. That's everything from Goat. That's his flash that he had to use. TP. Okami did use Ignite and didn't get the kill, which is a little unfortunate. But getting that first blood onto your Trundle, who could be a huge factor into this game, is very good.
Yeah, Trundle is gonna be part of this game pretty heavily. I mean, you want to get him to the point where he's able to just continuously tank fights, and if you get him ahead far enough, I mean, he can just run over Talon in a 1v1. I mean, what can Talon really do after the Trundle gets onto him? He may be able to hop a wall, but that's about it.
Yeah, I agree. Once Trundle gets a couple armor items on him, which is still good this game, it's gonna be very difficult. One thing I'm wondering is if Misfortune will do the Leandri's build this game, because it is a little bit difficult to auto attack with the Kiana, around. You don't want to get in range of that Mordekaiser. It could be decent with the HP stacking that they have, but again, standard lethality, always satisfying to go with the big ult damage. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, the very satisfying MF ulti, always nice to see. And the thing is that the side of GFG are not that tanky, to be honest. I mean, outside of Trundle, you've got maybe one tank. Is now Daydream gonna get traded on. Drex or Bean gonna go forward, maybe finds a kill. No, exhaust goes large is now hard to love. Gonna continue putting out autos, and that was so close for Daydream, but was able to live it out.
I really like to see this. They're playing aggressive. They're, making plays happen. Yeah, if they did end up losing to Summoner, I mean, it was an even Summoner trade, but it's they're playing aggressive, and I feel like that's how they played game 1. And now we have 4 people down on the bot side here.
Drex and Akami coming in. Oh, man, Akami just does so much damage. Going to be able to find Daydream. Hard to love underneath that turret. The TP comes up from Ornn.
Yeah.
And that's a big investment for him to use as now. Talon going to continue going forward. Ornn doesn't, or sorry, Mordekaiser does not have the shield. So he is probably going to have to flash away. Yep.
That could have been a kill. That is actually pretty unfortunate for Cuddlebun. He was getting some push there. He TP'd back to lane at some point. I don't remember when. But he did take an early reset. And him being forced out, I guess he doesn't get forced out, but he still catches this wave. It is a little unfortunate where he's at right now, because Goat is moving up into this top jungle. It looks like they want to go for a dive. He has to try and get this wave and get his level 6 here.
Yep, he got his level 6. They know they're calling that, so they're not going to do anything with it. It is unfortunate mostly because since Talon was on that top side, Cuddlebun doesn't get plates like he was thinking he was about to. You know, I mean, Ornn invested so much to go towards bot side. There is now Talon probably going to look to go top. I mean, Ornn isn't level 6 quite yet, and Talon's also not level 6, but this trade is quite big for the Ornn. Ornn now level 6. Not going to find his ultimate because of the Cuddlebun ultimate, or Death Realm.
Did leave.
Yeah, Talon did leave.
I feel like he could have stayed around if that play was communicated. There must have been some sort of issue or some sort of miscommunication because, and he's back.
Yep, Talon back up in the top lane. There is no ultimate on this Ornn. He's just going to look to go straight for Talon, not going to find the pullback. If he got that pullback, it would be a kill here, but
that
wasn't
is a kill,
able to find it.
Or a flash at least.
Wasn't able to find it. Cuddlebun dies underneath turret, and that's unfortunate for your Mordekaiser.
See, it's not the end of the world. He's still going to be able to side lane against Mordekaiser. He's going to be a presence in these team fights, but you want him to kind of be ahead. Yeah, Talon did get the kill, so it's another kill. So both junglers are semi-even in gold. Drake should be up a little bit.
Ooh, an E forward from Bean. Bean going to continue looking on to Daydream. The cleanse does come out. Oh my goodness, Daydream. 1 HP, just barely making it out of that situation.
Yeah, very, very close. Staying here is really risky. Okami is starting to move down onto the map. Yep.
Okami immediately says, I'm coming down. I don't think he's going to be able to get anything out of this, but he will force Daydream away from that turret. They do see him on vision, so the mid lane is going to be pushed out. Stet goes forward with the E, is now Cuddlebun. Trading back, slamming some mace, but not going to have his ultimate up for this gank.
This is I feel like this is a pretty late reaction from Trundle here. He has to move up. This is a 3v2. At the same time, he's
got the ultimate, though. Will they be able to find the kill on the Ornn first? Yes, they will. Cuddlebun is actually going to put down decent damage. His ulti's coming up soon.
Okami's moving up in the river here. No flash on the Talon. Could be a play to be made. They're looking like they want a tower dive. This is very playable.
Okami wants this. Going to use the ultimate onto I Love You So Much
to
pick up the kill. Okami by himself making plays and doing what Okami is best at, which is getting out of his lane. And now they're going to look to try to dive this Ahri as well. Maybe.
I feel like they take what they get there and
don't do it.
Don't really want to flip anything. Goat does have flash up, so he shouldn't be too worried about any sort of dive. And it's right now GFG are playing this early game very well. I like how Okami's been moving around the map, playing these roams really smart. Yeah,
roams really smart from Okami is now. I mean, the damage does come down on the Mordekaiser. I don't think there's going to be anything traded here, but just putting down damage on Mordekaiser, making him get off the map. Ahri also having to find a way off the map. Set goes mid.
Yeah, he's picking up whatever wave he can. He is under-leveled here. He's up CS, but it's definitely Mordekaiser is dominating this lane as he should be. Should have a little bit more CS, but he did get dope. But he's been playing it very well. I think Cuddlebun has probably been the most consistent player in this series out of both teams.
Yeah, Cuddlebun has definitely been playing on par with what we expect him to be. coming in as the new top laner for GFG and actually doing a really good job. Makes the team look completely different from what they were in their week 1 against Zeta.
Yeah, I agree. This also with the support coming in, helper. It's a big difference. They're playing. They seem more like they're a unit when they're playing. It's kind of like before they were looking a little bit all over the place. Not a lot of like team play wise, but the synergy in the bot lane, I feel like they've been playing very well against Daydream and Hard to Love in the bot lane.
Yeah, Hard to Love and Daydream are actually having a difficult time this game as well, as they do know that Ahri is coming down. Okami looking to make the roam down as well. They're not going to get the wave in, so will they be able to find the dive? Bean has to use his E away, and that's going to be a Helper dead. Helper goodbye is now Stet getting traded on the top side. But I think that actually Okami might be strong enough to carry out this fight, especially if they're trying to go for Dragon. They don't have Daydream's ult, they do not have Sona ult, and they also don't have any dashes. As now Okami goes forward, finds a big ulti, stunning up every single member. As now I love you so much, goes forward. Gonna die though. Bean continuing to go forward, and that's crazy to me that they tried to take that fight. CB Starlight get absolutely wiped in the fight. Okami finds a big ulti, and that is huge for Goldfish Gaming.
And we do have a replay a little broken. But yeah, Okami in that fight, he got a huge ult. I think it was a 4-man. I think he clipped 4.
Yeah, he got everybody.
It's just very well played. He's like Kiana. I was a little skeptical at first into their team. I'm not gonna lie. He is very good at the champ, but he's showing that no matter the team comp, he can play it well.
Oh yeah, this is Okami at his best, playing champions that you don't traditionally see every single game in the current meta, but still doing proficiently well. This is exactly how he was on the Goldfish Gaming that he won CCS Plat with, and he's doing the same thing now.
See, he is down a little bit in CS, but he has been making these roam plays happen, and his bot lane's up 20 CS. His top laner's he's down a little bit of CS, but it's due to the dive and the jungle attention that went towards the Ornn, which is a little interesting to me. I feel like, kind of hovering your bot lane here, trying to help out. The talent pick kind of feels out of place, in my opinion. It's...
Ooh, Okami. Trading on to go is now actually Bean with these E's forward. He is so aggressive on this Ezreal pick. It's been working out really fine for them. I mean, they're really ahead in this bot lane as he's on Triforce, got his tier stacking up right now. Manamune coming on the way probably soon.
This bot lane of Goldfish, they've just been dominating this lane. But we do see Talon coming in.
Talon coming bot. Will some Noxie and Diplomacy come out? Wait, Trundle's here for the counter gank. They're going to continue going forward. I love you so much. Has to use his E to try to get over this wall. Maybe as the Sona ult does come down. Okami also coming. Go BM. Going to be able to pick up Helper, but will Okami get here to save his team? Bean going low. Go BM. Going to continue going forward. Not going to find anything with the orb, and that's going to be 2 kills over to GFG, who ultimately went out on that play.
I really like how they turned that fight. It was... Go BM had a very good roam there. He was there earlier than Okami. But once kind of all the abilities from Ahri were used, they just can't offer anything. They're just kind of there. And Okami came in and cleaned up the bot lane of, cleaned up Daydream there. And they dropped the Rift Herald, and this could be 2 towers bot lane.
Yeah, 2 towers, and this is a ton of gold, by the way. I mean, 233 per champion. That is an insane amount of gold. Ezreal is already really ahead. I mean, 1,500 gold on basically everybody from that play. Cuddlebun's also sitting on a bunch of gold. GFG are sitting in, like, a great spot now from that fight.
I think they're playing this game very well.
It's definitely looking a lot better than the last game, that's for sure.
It's looking more like Game 1, and I feel like that's how they need to play. Game 2, they kind of played more of a kind of supportive mid, and Okami on these champions like Kiana and Vladimir, where he can make plays around the map and he can scale. It's team fighting comps that I feel like they are playing the best.
Yep, they definitely excel whenever Kami is on stuff that he can just kind of make the plays happen. On Karma, you're just there to be the support, but now Drex going forward, Go BM, gonna have to use the ultimate to get away. Will it be enough for him as he does go forward once more? Hey, Bean taking half of his HP, but that's about it with this trade.
Yeah, it's really won't make too much of a difference. There is a small lead in XP in the jungle, but you know, Drex sitting on Sunder, Tiamat, Mertreads, and Talon only having Yomus and Boots, it's a big difference right now in the jungle. We do see Ornn off to the side. It looks like they might try and make a play here, but without Goat, who they are trying to make a play on, who doesn't have the ult.
Oh, Goat doesn't have ult. Okami has ice here. Just going to use the ultimate to try to CC him up, but I think Goat's just dead anyways. Is now Goat continuing to get gone on by Okami. Okami continue going forward. Uses the grass form, and I think the grass form is so OP. Helper running away from the situation. Doesn't find the knockup. Is now this is actually a big choke, and they need to get out of here.
Close to this.
BB Starlight needs to get out, but the blast plant saves some people. Sona ulted up. Gonna have to use his ulti as now they're funneling through, and Bean taking quite a bit of damage. Stet gonna have to walk forward for his team. The ultimate did come down from Trundle. J Dream getting gone on by Cuddle Bun. Cuddle Bun not gonna find the kill, but they will find the dragon after the fight. Oh, TP coming in from Goat BM, so they're looking to contest this maybe? Or just push out mid?
They shouldn't contest. They will probably be able to...
Ooh, they're contesting.
Really? This is very interesting. I don't think they should actually be doing this. They could have just taken mid turret here.
Kami is kind of on a flank here.
We'll see what Goat can do in this fight, but Kami just getting so much damage off.
Cuddlebun is huge. Mr. Drex gets himself a killing spree. Hey, Bean says thank you, one more kill. And that was a weird fight for CB Starlight to take, as now GFG have completely taken off with the game.
Yeah, I'm very, very confused what that TP was into the contest on the dragon. Yeah, we get the replay here. We see the TP. I just don't understand. They have a cannon wave on the mid. On hitting the mid turret, they can just trade that. I don't think they need to fight this. They don't have any ults up other than Goat, and that's, you know, their whole comp is pretty much centered around these ultimates, like Ornn, Misfortune, Sona. We see Okami getting the kill, or getting a lot of damage off into the backline, and they just kind of leave their frontliners out to dry. It's a weird play to contest.
Yeah, and you know, with Okami having something like the Duskblade, it's harder to actually kill him because he
goes invisible,
disappears after a kill.
Yeah. And both the Ezreal and the Kiana both are almost full tier stack. Okami is picking up the Manamune here. I'm sure on reset, Bean has the Manamune as well. That's two really big spikes, and that just amplifies their damage so much more.
Yeah, their damage is continuing to get amplified. This Ezreal being ahead heading into like the major mid game here is not great. Also, Mordekaiser now in a place where Ornn can't really match him, and Ornn going for more of the tanky build. I actually don't like when Ornns do Sunfire whenever you're into Trundle, because that just offers Trundle so many more stats. Trundle zoning off of the mid wave by himself. I don't think they realize who's here and who's not.
Yeah. And that's both the Manamune spikes being hit. It does look like it will be Leandri's Misfortune from what I was talking about earlier.
Yep.
I don't mind it this game because of the HP stackers.
Yep.
But other than that, there's not too much damage from what they need. Ahri's more of kind of a secondary utility carry.
Okami behind Go as he does get hit by the Everfrost, but they are going to continue looking for the play. Trundle coming down. Trundle going to go on to Go BM. Will the Ignite tick down? Yes, it will. Unstoppable for Okami as Hayazo.
Yep, it's just Okami. He got the lead and he ran with it. He is so strong right now. He feels like he can kind of do whatever he wants, and I like that's how they're playing. They have the lead, they need to push it. It's a 6k gold lead at 20 minutes. They're on soul point for Infernal Soul with their comp. It's looking really, really doomed for CB Starlight here.
Cuddle Bun is just playing so well in the side lane as well. As now Daydream and Hard to Love hit up by that Seraphine ulti, but not going to find Daydream, will find the Sona. But this is huge, and I think they can maybe turn this into a Baron possibly.
They could. Misfortune does have ultimate, only level 9 though, so it's like this. they don't do enough damage yet. They really need to scale. This Talon's just kind of been farming jungle. He does have a good flank here, but then again, he's by himself.
He's getting out of there.
They're just going to give a 20-minute Baron for Goldfish, and they are...
Oh, wait, TP coming in from GoBM and also from Stet. Now Stet going
this
forward.
Looks very, very bad.
Oh, Trundle is going to get picked off here as now Okami uses the ultimate around the ring, but not going to find any kills with it. I love you so much in the pit with Cuddle Bun, and that's not who you want to see. Cuddle Bun is just going to fall ultimately here. As that play doesn't go quite in the favor of GFG. They do pick up the Baron, so they didn't get that stolen from them, but they do lose 3 members.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see. When you see where if the double TP comes out, I think they should have pulled it off a little bit. Drex was like a second or two, like second or half a second off the Empowered Seraphine heal, which would have given him a lot. I think he wanted to hold the smite. He did die with it up. So... that is unfortunate. That's how that play went. I think he dies regardless, or gets back, even if they stop him. They probably kill him, but it doesn't really do too much. And we do have this dragon coming up in 30 seconds.
Yep, dragon coming up, which means there's going to be another banger coming in. Drex hasn't really been farming. I think he's only hit like 2 or 3 minions. Did they both walk over that ward? They did. They both just kind of like, well, I didn't
got
see
places
it.
to be.
Yep,
now,
they got a hot date.
Yeah, this fight here is huge. Okami is sitting on a very, very good flank here. They are walking through mid, but if he can kind of wrap around and get a good flank with the ult here, or even just in the river, their front to back right now is very strong. They're sitting on... Misfortune is on Leandri's, and they're often a good flank here for their ult of their own.
They don't know where Okami is at the moment. They don't know where Talon is also on the other side. Is now Cuddle Bun going to go forward. Oh my god! He goes over the wall, finds few knock-ups, and now the Seraphine ulti comes down. Go BM going low. Okami not going to find the kill quite yet. I love you so much going forward. Double kill over to Bean, and Okami's not even going to go down. It's an ace for GFG.
Now that is game-winning. Okami with the massive ult engage onto CB Starlight there, and it's just once that hit, it's just over. That's sold. That should be bid inhib. Misfortune didn't get to play the game that fight. They died with ulti. It's just crazy.
Yeah, that ulti was absolutely insane, and the fact that Okami lives on the backside of this fight as well is so unlucky for GOAT, but so good for GFG.
That's exactly how they need to be playing. They've played these aggressive comps with the good early game, or with the good team fighting, and it doesn't look like they're like losing their team fighting is very, very coordinated and well played, and I like to see that.
Their team play is definitely taken an improvement with this comp. Is now Ornn going to go forward with the E. Charged in. I don't think that you want this if you're GFG. You can just back off, get some items. As now I love you so much coming over the wall. Cuddle Bun is going to be the one that's going to take most of the damage. Now I love you so much goes forward. Stat going forward as well. They're thinking that they can take this fight. Misfortune ultimate does come down, but it doesn't get very much as Stat goes down to the Trundle ulti. Trundle going to continue going forward. Does get the chop off. Daydream in trouble. Hard to Love gets out with the ultimate, and Goat BM is here to back up, but wait, Hard to Love gonna take almost their entire health bar and gonna continue walking back. Okami is terrifying. Bean ease forward into Ari's face, says, I don't care who you are, you're not stronger than me.
Now since they got that Baron, they took the Dragon Soul, they've transferred into that topside lead. It's just very, very, very well played. I like what they did with it. They've forced fights. That Talon going in there was a little interesting to me. Neither Goat or Okami was there, so I think that's why they tried to force it. But then again, it's just they're not strong enough to kill either Cuddle Bun or Mr. Drex. It's just they're too tanky for them right now.
Yeah, and the thing is that Bean and Helper are positioning so well in these fights where if MF drops ulti, she's not hitting either of them. They're just sitting in the back waiting patiently because you can't melt through Cuddle Bun or Drex at this point, and they're just sitting there waiting for whenever they can walk in. And it's so hard to play for CB Starlight. They have at least one more fight before this game ends, though, as Baron is coming up in 1 minute and 20 seconds.
That's kind of their dying hope there, but even that, I don't think it saves them. They need a lot. They need this Orin to start getting his upgrades. He's only level 12.
I love you so much. Actually goes in on Drex, uses the pillar to hop over. Is now Daydream getting hit by Bean. Bean is walking into the danger zone, does get charmed, does get knocked up, and that's going to be a dead A to carry. Shut down as now Orin calls the horn. Okami has to run back. Gonna get rooted up, charmed also. Seraphine ultimate does come down, but it doesn't save him. And that's a big 2 picks there for the side of CB Starlight. And I was not expecting it, but it happened.
I'm really confused what was going on there. Okami used his ult on near the gate there. And Goat was just kind of, or not Goat, sorry. Bean was just...
charm hits. Helper in a bad spot here and just will ultimately go down. Cuddlebun not able to do much for his team on the other side of the map, but Baron is spawning 16 seconds. The rest of, GFG is going to be up besides Helper, so they can contest this.
You know, this is the CCS rules. They have to fight, so that's why they didn't back off there.
True.
They had to keep going. The Baron is coming up here, or the Baron is spawned. Everyone but Helper is alive on the map. Both top laners have TP, so this is definitely playable. Sona moving to the bot lane here, I guess just to get some defensive wards, but I don't really want to see them force it, but they kind of have to at the same time.
Bean is caught in the middle lane. Not going to go down ultimately, and does get the flash away from Talon. Bean going to be off the map for a second as now Okami is flanking. Has not been seen by any wards. We continue walking forward. I think they know where Okami is at this point, but they're going to keep backing away from him.
Seeing that Talon uses ult and flash onto Bean there and getting nothing in return is a pretty bad sign, to be honest. If he's unable to kill him without Bean using anything, then they're in a bad spot.
They know exactly what's going on. Ooh. Is this Stet has his TP, but they're not going to contest. They're actually just going to say, hey, you guys beat us, well played, and they get the Baron for free. There's now Cuddlebun in a weird spot. Oh, he's going to flash forward on a Daydream. A lot of damage coming out from that Infernal. He's going to trade back. He's going to trade back. He's going to do quite a bit of damage. Also, putting down almost everybody at half health. They're going to use the Orin ultimate to try to disengage. He misses it. That going to continue getting gone on by Drex. Drex is so tanky with this Orin stats is now. I love you so much. It's on the backside. I love you so much. He's looking for the flank, but I don't think he's going to be able to get it. It's now Drex going to continue going forward. Gets charmed up. Going to take the true damage from Ari. And they're going to disengage out. I love you so much. Weird position if they continue going back to.
Yeah. The mid inhib as respawned. They really got to start pushing this this Baron. They need to start, breaking turrets with it. But I don't like them being in this jungle here.
Yeah, this is going to get quite scary for them as now. I love you so much. I think he's going to get spotted out, but will it matter? As now, holy crap, goodbye to your health bar. E forward from Bean, and Bean is going to pop off in this team fight. As they're not even looking at the team fight. Is now Okami going to get caught up on the backside, going to go down. Stet taking as much damage as he can. This is Orin, but there's a huge Seraphine ulti. Cuddlebun in the back. And I think this is just going to call it wraps. Is now double kill for Bean. Goat goes down as well, and that's going to be either game or Elder.
I don't think they need to do the Elder. I think they can just end the game through either bot. Yeah, they have a wave coming in bot here with the Baron still up. I want to see, one of them at least tank the turret and really get going here. They don't have time to waste.
And we're watching this replay here. You can just see how Bean is just able to put down consistent damage. The huge Seraphine ultimate, and Cuddlebun in the back is now. Cuddlebun uses the ultimate to Hard to Love. Hard to Love not going to get much value. I love you so much. Goes in. He said, I'm going to try to make the hero play. Helper heals up to full. Are the love and I love you so much is now set on the map. Going to use his ultimate to try to clear out some of these minions. Going to get pulled forward by Cuddlebun. Cuddlebun now putting down the damage. Mr. Drex goes forward, has the tankiness. He's going to keep hitting the goat. The Trundle going to continue tanking up as now Stet gets knocked up. Going forward is Go BM going down. Cuddlebun in the back of the fight. He's just doing so much damage. And that's going to be GFG taking the win over CB Starlight.
That was a good ending to the game. I really liked how they played this game 3, and they really deserved this series win.
Woo! GFG played that game so well, and if they would have played game 2 like that, it would have been maybe a 2-0. But it made it much more exciting for the casters, and I am like, woo, that was exciting. I like to watch that. A lot of team fighting, a lot of well-played side laning. Cuddlebun in the side lane, I mean, we didn't give a lot of credit to him, but it was insane how much he did.
Yeah, Cuddlebun, I'd say he was the most consistent player in the whole series. Definitely Okami in the games they win, he really shined with his team fighting. And yeah, and the bot lane, I think, played consistent as well. It was a very good performance by Goldfish, especially after their week 1.
Yes, it was. It was a very well played. I mean, it feels nice to get this W, and going into next week. I mean, this new iteration of Goldfish Gaming just looks good. I mean, it looks a lot better than what they might have had before. But now, I mean, what a great game from Goldfish Gaming. They picked a lot of team fighting things. They did well. Okami popped off in the early game, and by the end of it, it was just so much going down. I mean, Trundle was playing it. Drex was playing almost perfectly. You had Mordekaiser playing it almost perfectly. Seraphine getting good ultimates at the end of the game. It was all just going so well for GFG.
Yeah, their team fighting looked very, very strong. Their strongest point, I feel like. And it's just, they needed just the smallest leap. They needed to play strong in the early game and then translate that into their team fighting. And that's what they did in game 1 and 3, and it worked out.
It did work out, as I think that we're working on getting an interview. I'm thinking that it's going to be with, I'm thinking that we bring in Cuddlebun personally.
Hey, it's up to them who they want to bring in, but we'll see here.
Yep. All right. Well, while we're grabbing somebody for the interview, we're going to go to a quick break. Stick around if you want to hear some insight as Goldfish Gaming pick up the win. All right, everybody, and welcome back. We have with us now Goldfish Gaming top laner and my personal MVP of the series, Cuttlebun. How are you feeling after that win?
I'm not gonna lie, I was really nervous coming into this. It's been a while since I played comp, and the fact that my first game was against Chelsea in No Attack, I was ready for it.
Yep. So, speaking of that, I mean, going into the series, you had told me prior to it, you were like, if they give me Urgot, I mean, listen, it's it's B2, B1 Urgot, and I'm going to be
Uh,
hard carrying the game. And I was like, I was kind of skeptical. And then that first game came out, and even the second game, you played well on both times that you got Urgot. So tell me, what is the fascination with Urgot?
I just really like this champion. The fact that he
Okay.
can actually be built in multiple different directions.
Mhm.
He can be that damage. He can be a frontliner. He can be utility. There's just different ways. And I found from logging 300 games of solo queue on him, well, you eventually figure it out.
Oh yeah.
I got a question. What was the team atmosphere like after that game too? You know, it was a really hard game. You guys did kind of lose that game pretty hard. But what were the thoughts going into game 3?
Uh, Game 2 was I'm not gonna lie, there was some tilt there from all of us. I thought I had a pretty substantial lead. I thought I could carry it, and I was like, we were just upset with it. So going into game 3, we had totally different mindset. We cleared up everything, and we said, okay, well, what did we do wrong from that one? What can we do better in this one? And we had a complete turnaround after that.
Awesome. Yep. And it really showed. In that second game, you guys kind of went away from your draft plan that we had seen from the first two. It looked a little less aggressive from Mr. Drex. He was kind of making different plays around the map that were a little more passive. But going into game 3, I mean, heading into game 3, obviously you guys completely mental reset. And I think that you picked the comp that actually works for you the best. So do you think that you guys should probably stay more early game focused, or what's the thought behind that? Do you think that you guys can play anytime, any day?
I'd go anytime, any day. Like
There you go.
our bot lane is usually our late game carry, and
Okay.
then I don't know. I'm a very aggressive top laner. I like to go for those early trades. Step played that
Mhm.
lane really well,
Yep.
and I got to give that guy respect. I walked into this and I was like, oh, okay, he's a GP main. Like he understands how to scale, and yeah, I thought he was pretty good. But
Yep.
yeah, I think going forward we can we've got the best of everything on this team, so it's going to be very interesting moving along.
Awesome.
That's
Um,
what I like to hear.
mhm. Matt, do you have any other questions?
No other questions from me.
All right. Okay. It looks like Brankles is actually asking Cuddlebun a question over Discord, so we'll get that question in here. Okay.
Oh boy, how does it feel to knock off the rest and take the series? Um, it was nice to get back into comp. I've been coaching for the last year and a half now, and I've had ups and downs with it. And to actually have a little bit more pressure on my shoulders, it felt nice. And I feel like that's just the start. I really want to go and see where I can be. And I hear all the hype is Fireflans, and that's where I want to
Oh,
go.
Yeah, shooting at the big dogs,
yeah.
and there is a pass to that, as you are the coach for Epsilon, part of Dorado Gaming. So there's a little bit of pass to that. I like
Yeah.
that a lot. I don't think that we have any other questions. Do you have any shout outs for anybody?
Uh, just shouting out the team. Really, I think they kind of dragged me past the finish line in game 3. So yeah, thank you to Goldfish for dealing with me and making this a fun series.
Awesome. Well, with that being said, that is the end of the interview, and that will also be the end of the stream. Be sure to stick around for whoever we raid next. It's been a great game, a great series to cast. I had a lot of fun. I'm sure that Mark had a lot of fun, and I'm sure that Matt G also had a lot of fun watching his team
That was a
pick
good
up the
time.
W. Thank you guys for joining us, and c'est la vie.